Alaikum, everyone. Buenas noches, buenas noches. I hope you guys having a great night. Once again, we got the man of steel here, Tata Matamba. Mucho blessings to everyone. Tata Matamba, bendición. I got my godson here,
Bendiciones.
Mawungo. I know you guys have seen him already with Tata Matamba. And we just gonna let her Tata Matamba rip. Go ahead, Tata. How you
Yeah, many
doing?
blessings to everybody. Just how to do is live with many of my god kids and descendants. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. You guys hear music or no? No,
Nah,
Yeah.
it's low. It's low.
it's low. Alrighty.
For
And
me, for me, it is. I don't know.
we come to speak about Kolamuka today. We're gonna speak about the binary code Kolamuka, and hopefully we get Yaya Azula on here, another one of my goddaughters. And we'll speak about the females within the religion, and these traditions, the power that they hold, and all these things at the end, questions and all that stuff is at the end. Many blessings to everybody on this chat, all the comments. We appreciate you guys. At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, and that's the truth.
You
Yeah, Azula,
yeah,
I
yeah,
see that you're
you
here.
you supposed to be up here with us,
You see
not
what I'm
in the
saying?
chat.
When you get a chance, you see what I'm saying? He'll bring you in. But we're gonna be speaking about Kolamuka, all right? All of this stuff is within the scrolls of time. Many priests at the end of the day have bought the book, and we always orientate and we speak and we give our life experiences through these binary codes at the end of the day. This binary code Kolamuga is it's a very strong code because because it represents somewhat of our lineage and mostly the Inkisi de Saravanda. ¿Tú me entiendes? Of the Inkisi Saravanda, y Coaine to a certain extent, but more Saravanda, right? That's when you guys see the emblem. Let me see if I can get it in the over here. When you guys see the King of Bisinsu, the binary code, all of the pluses or all the positive signs, that one. When you guys see that, obviously it's heavily to do with Saravanda or los main troncos del linaje. And obviously with my linaje and our lineage within Buriumba Mulema Saravanda and somewhat Kuwainde too. Saravanda y Kuwainde have to do with that. Anyway, that represents leaderships, all et cetera, all of these things. And we know that in Kisi within Briumba son los troncos mayores anyway. De los linaje of these lineages. But it holds a lot of information like all the codes do. When you guys see that, which for me represents all the coconuts down, and down or up, it really don't matter. Depends on the treaty you guys have. But mine is when all the coconuts are down, they're all positive, because polarity and stage format are two separate things, right? And the outside of the coconut represents positive. The inside of the coconut, right, is circles which represent the negative. Um, but that does not mean that if they're all down, it does not speak. And if they're up, they speak. You see what I'm saying? It's like that, right? They're all down, it's not speaking. When it comes, when it's referring to a stage, you see what I'm saying? When it's down, the stage is not open. When it's up, the stage is open. Polarity has to do with with positive and negative, two different things, right? Um, and that's just to orientate on that aspect. So we have Tata Zongo here. We have obviously Mavungu, and we'll all be giving a little bit of our experiences with these codes. One thing is Kufwa, one thing is Budalele, one thing is Kisalo, one thing is Matua, one thing, you see what I'm saying, is in Sansai, and another thing is the binary codes of Nkisi Malongo. Two different formats within this specific divination system. And there's a bunch of different formats. Polarity is another format. Stage format is another format. See what I'm saying? Question technique or the way that you have those five responses is another thing. Um, so all of this stuff has to do with divination at the end of the day, and how you're gonna interpret or how is the dead um speaking, right? Speaking through it, deciding to choose to speak with whatever format there is at the end of the day. You get me?
Yes, sir.
Without that, there's There must be organization when it comes to those formats. If not, te va a perder. You're gonna be lost. So there are rules to the language. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
There are rules to the language. So kufwa, it is not kolamuka, even though it is. So you got to know when to read it as kufwa, which is changes the atmosphere, and there can be problems. Then when you have your Inkisi Sarawan that he affirms with kufwa, because he's trying to affirm with the binary code kolamuka, two different things. If you don't have Sarawanda or any of that, you don't got to worry about it so much. But if you do, and it comes out Kufwa, Sarawan, that Nfumba is deliberately saying yes. He's affirming or standing up to speak through it. So it's two different things. So there is rules to the language. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into Kolamuka at least. So Kolamuka means awakening, consciousness, to be aware, awareness. So everything that has to do with that, which is knowledge. Um, and obviously within the code itself, when you look at it, is all positives. It represents the sun because it emits. See what I'm saying? Sambia, all circles represent darkness, no light. You get me? Another thing is within stage format. You'll see Kolamuka within the stage format. None of them are open; they're all closed. It represents the beginning of a process. All of them open, which is at the end, is Sambia, the end of processes. So we got to distinguish those two things. Um, Obviously, con la muca, it says use your head before you lose it. And that got a million interpretations and different ways of understanding when it comes to con la muca. All right. Which we can't let our emotions cloud our judgment, though. When the Fuma kicks out this code within the readings, it lets us know that you got to use your head before you lose it. You cannot let your emotions cloud your judgment at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? Many people make decisions out of emotions. They can't see clearly. And a good leader leads with his head, not with his heart. Think about that. A good leader leads with his head, not with his heart. You got to make decisions that are long game, but at the same time, organize and understand in the position that you're in within the beginning. You get me? Use your head before you lose it. You guys got something? I'm gonna continue.
Another thing with
Continue.
Kolamuka, another word Kolamuka is like you said, but it also represents change. You
Hmm.
understand the process of change. You understand? Go ahead. That just came to mind.
Which it does represent change. It represents the beginning. So everything that you see that has the beginning, you go through that code, you experience Kolamuka. When you guys jumped on this live, you went through Kolamuga, the beginning of the live. Think about it like in an image. When you see people that they're about to race, that they're there waiting for the gunshot, boom, and they can
Mm-hmm.
start running in track, the beginning of that. That represents Kolamuka. You see in Fast and the Furious, two cars side by side waiting there in the starting line. Kolamuka. It's the beginning of processes. And when you go ahead and start, when you're gonna start the beginning, you even have to know how to start. So what is Koramuka already letting you know that before you start something, you must be well prepared for it. You get me? You have to be well prepared for it. You can't start a process and not be well prepared for it. At the end of the day, many blessings. This is Yaya Zula. This is one of my
Peace
goddaughters.
and blessings. I was waving. I was waving.
I'll let
All
go.
right.
So let's go back to it. So many of you guys start within life. You start processes and you guys are not fitted for it. You start processes because your emotions pulled you to the process and you're not prepared for it. And that's why you have trials and tribulations alongside with it. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
What else you guys think about Kolamuka when it comes to the beginning?
One thing that I remember about you teaching was, and you showed us, was that it also resembles time for the simple process of the hourglass.
And the hourglass and the sun,
And right, because the sun we go by sun, right, and lunar for time, but usually the sun we could tell by its shadow kind of what time it is. You know, if you studied that and know how to deal with a piece of stick outside and all that.
which is true. Kolamuka has to do with timing. It's the beginning, represents the east, which is the sun rising, right?
Mm-hmm.
But time has to do with the sun. And we know the sun rises and the sun sets, but it has to do
Sets.
with masa,
Right.
right? And it's the reincarnation of things, right? At the end of the day. And time, we know that is an illusion at the end of the day
Right.
from us.
For us, yeah.
Time is an illusion. What really exists is change, like you were saying, Tata Zongo.
Change.
Change. Everything, January 1st at 12 o'clock, this is and that. Those are all, um, let's say, Western ideologies of seeing time. Time is circular, it's never been linear.
Mm-hmm.
Because something from my past can affect your future. You get me?
Yes, sir.
If I send out a piece of mail, if I send a letter, mail is in my past, but it's gonna affect your future. You get me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it has to do with individual dikengas and understanding other things that are more within depth. But it does have to do with time. So whoever is within, you see this code, the person must be well organized. It has to be organized within timing.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? They have to have the right timing to start processes and when to deal with them. If there's no good timing, you're gonna have issues within Kolamuga. And that's the problem. Your emotions are the ones that cloud your judgment when it comes to starting the process. You're not well prepped for them, and you decide to start these processes.
Right.
You get me?
It also represents the head
Right? Leadership, right?
leadership.
Represents leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because the sun obviously is that. You get me? Leadership, authority, godliness, gods, etc., all that stuff from Egypt and all these things,
Mm-hmm.
which is true. And we're all up here like Kolamugas, like leaders.
Right.
So what do you guys think? What else?
The lymphatic system.
100%. Within health, it has to do with the lymphatic system. And we know here you can't consume high amounts of alcohol or any of those things because it affects the lymphatic system the same way substances can affect your emotions and keep you from thinking logically.
Right.
You get me? When you go to start processes in life. You get me?
Hmm.
And that's the truth. Many people decide to consume alcohol or substances and deal with processes in their life, and they have to be careful because they're making decisions once again out of emotion and not with their intellect and wisdom, not being stoic or intelligent. All those substances they delude or affect your ability to think correctly. That's good within the lymphatic system. Anyway, if you see somebody with colamuca, and the lady's pregnant, they have to do you have to do rituals, etc., when it to the ocean. You see what I'm saying? In the ocean, to make sure that that child they don't lose the child during the
Birth.
pregnancy,
Right.
during birth. They can have issues, especially if they have a thin cervix lining. The child will come out early, premature. They'll have
Mm-hmm.
issues with it. If you see that code in the woman, if it's for a woman that she's pregnant. And obviously we know when they're pregnant, alcohol, all of these things, high blood
Yeah.
pressure, all of that stuff is there. You got to be very careful with this code in the house. The heart is definitely here too. El
Mm-hmm.
corazón. So you guys got to pay attention to that. Use your head before you lose it. There's a bunch of things still.
You just started.
And I say
What are you guys
get
thinking?
get on top of the processes. So me and Tata Zanga was speaking about the other day. getting on top of the processes of what's going on in your life. You know, just getting order on
Hmm.
top of
Structure.
things.
That's correct.
Now, we can think about it, right? If it represents the sun, people who have Kolamuka, the beginning, which is Sunday, the sun
Hmm.
day, that day is the best day for them to get organized so they can start their week.
Mm.
You get me? Whoever carries this code, they must have organization. If not, they're not going to be able to triumph. Wash your clothes, um, rearrange the messes that you've done in your house and the cars and your jobs and your what you call in your businesses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Within the Inkisi room, it's good to, let's say, reset and organize everything for the week within Sunday. If
Right.
you carry the code Kolamuga, Kolamuga. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Structure. I like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Different name today.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yo lo saludé. I say, what's up, brother Lopez, hermano?
Yeah, today you got different name.
Yeah, that's what I said. Structure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta have structure when it comes to Kolamuga at the end of the day. Now, when it says use your head before you lose it, it's referring to that to our emotions. But use your head before you lose it. You have this is for men.
Mhm.
We have this head, but we also got another head. And you can't let you see what I'm saying?
Right,
You can't
right,
Right.
make decisions with the wrong head, the one in between your feet.
exactly.
Because many times if you don't use
Protection.
protection or any of that, lose your head before you lose it.
Hmm.
Use the right head. Don't use the one in between the legs because you can end up losing it. Catching sexually transmitted diseases, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of those things.
Yes, sir.
You get me? Especially when it comes to relationships. For the young folks. I mean, even not the young folks, but the people who are in the marketplace. People who are in the marketplace when it comes to dating, and you see this code, colamuca, jumping around, not being organized within your let's say dating life, and you decide to use the wrong head, and you're gonna end up losing it due to a sexual transmitted disease. You see what I'm saying? So you
Yes,
have to
sir.
get things well organized. Don't be just jumping the gun, and that's the truth.
Hmm.
Only when you're up against the ropes that the doctor tells you, hey, you have this illness, you have this, you have that, is when you're gonna come to understand that you made a wrong decision for being disorganized and letting your emotions cloud your judgment. Just because a girl looks good does not mean that it's beneficial for you.
Hmm.
You get
Yeah.
me?
Yes.
It's kind of like going out to the beach.
Let me get
Just
that
because you're
book
out there at the
again.
beach, because the sun, if you don't put on sunblock, you're gonna get sunburnt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like that. You have to use protection when you're out exposed into those type of elements and atmospheres. You get me? And that's the truth of that. And that's not a problem. Many times you can heal them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The problem is if you get a woman pregnant, use your head before you lose it. Has to do with that. Also, you get me?
Hmm.
That you get a woman pregnant that you didn't want her to be pregnant
Right.
out of a mistake. And we
Hmm.
already know that a woman that gets pregnant, or a child that's coming into the realm and is not being loved, it was made by accident, by accidental, a one night stand, and all of those things. Those childs weren't made with real love, and that already
Hmm.
causes issues and problems to that ancestor that's coming in. So you got to take these things seriously
Yeah.
when it comes to using your head before you lose it. And
Uh,
kolamuka.
and I really think that that word mistake is widely used in a wrong manners because a mistake is something that you're not aware of. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That is very innocent. It's hard for you to capture, and you do something by mistake. That's not a mistake. You know what I mean? You might be ignorant, but it's not a mistake.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
we're just here. We're just here speaking. You got something, Mavumbu, Yaya Zula? I know offline and all of these things, we do chat a whole lot. It's okay.
Te voy a tirar para
That's
que
it.
hable sobre duality.
I would
Yeah,
say
duality. Go ahead.
the emotions, the emotional part of Kolomuka.
Hmm. You can give it life experience, or you can give things for people to live them. I know sometimes we're shy and all that. It's okay. We're here. I'm
Yeah,
here.
so
Tatazongo's here. Mavungu's here. We're
I'm
here.
very fiery, and I can lose my head very easily. Very hot tempered, anger, very, very emotional. So I had made some very rash decisions while I was emotional. And once I made that decision, I couldn't go back.
I could
Mhm.
relate
So,
to you because
yeah, yeah.
my side
So this
also
is my
carries that.
code.
You
So,
understand? Yeah, emotional, get pissed off real quick, and things bother me. You know, I have to learn.
yeah,
I have had to learn how to. You know what I mean? Because if not, pew,
yeah,
Ah, yeah.
yeah,
like a rocket.
yeah. So, yeah, that piece for me is big. Not leading with my emotions, because I can wear my emotions on my sleeve.
Hmm.
So when it says use your head before you lose it, you also got to think about this. Sometimes we're not adults. We're not in the positions of being a head or authority within the
Mhm.
jobs, within life.
Hmm.
So sometimes use your head before you lose it is referring to look up to your elders. Speak to your godparents, speak to your parents, to your grandparents, to people who have authority
Knowledge.
within whatever process that you're about to begin because it
Mhm.
represents the beginning. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hmm.
When you see people, let's say they're about to run track or they're going to start running a race within life, um, or in basketball or in whatever they're going to do within business, that they're going to start a process. Use your head before you lose it.
Yeah.
Try to find people that they're your elders or mentors. Use them before you lose them because they're not always going to be there at the end of the day.
Hmm.
Exactly.
You get me?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Extract all the knowledge that you can while they're there because the sun, which Kamuka represents the sun, rises and sets.
Yeah.
Right.
You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
How many of you guys decided to get involved in processes, but then your parents passed away? Your mother passed away. Your
Hmm.
father passed away. Your godfather passed away. And now you have lost the head that you couldn't use, that you could have used, or now that you can't.
Right.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
At the end of the day,
Yeah, we didn't take advantage of it. I, for one, did
Right.
not. I, for one, did not take advantage.
Mhm.
You understand? Because not advantage as a losing advantage, advantage as learning off of my mom. Just that was my mom taught me. My mom
Mhm.
taught me. They, the old heads taught me in the streets, but my mom was the mother and the father for me. The father figure in a way.
Hmm.
So learning off of her at a young age, what to look at, what not, and what to do, what not to do. No, it was because of her. If not, I would have been lost. You understand? I would have probably been messed up somewhere else because of her. No matter how she was or whatever, she always would try to put me. She would tell me straight up when I'm doing something wrong. Well, no problem, it's wrong.
Mhm.
She didn't play. Even when I had girlfriends, if I was wrong doing something to the girl saying, she'll stop me real quick and be like, no, 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 you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? She was like that. Yeah, I can relate to that.
which is
Bingo.
true. I know it represents the sun. And during the day, many of us were go getters.
Mm-hmm.
During the day, many of us are go getters. We have our jobs, we tend to our responsibilities. But many people at night, that's where irresponsibilities start to happen, specifically Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So the people who carry this code, they can't let their emotions cloud their judgment.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? They
Right.
must use your head before they lose it. What is it referring to? Going out at night, knowing that you have to work the next day, knowing
Hmm.
that you don't have money, knowing that you have to invest in assets that eventually see produce your lifestyle. Investing in yourself at the end of the day, not letting your emotions cloud your judgment, deciding to have a good time. Yes, there's a time to live, a time to have a blast, but when you're involved in certain processes in life, you must sacrifice. You get me? And many of us have lived that, especially us coming up when or mid 20s, early 30s,
Hmm.
mid 30s, etc., that you're trying to build a life because you already lived that young adolescence life.
Hmm.
Ah, you didn't say it right.
You get me?
Uh-huh.
We got
Mhm.
you though.
Yeah, we got you.
Not adolescent life.
Adolescent.
Adolescent, that's what it is.
There you go.
Adolescent.
We got you.
Yeah, and I
So it
also
lets
see
us
it as
know
a
that.
process. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Yeah, I see it
Mahmoud.
as a process like lose your head, use your head before you lose it. If you're in a position where you feel like you're ahead in life, don't sit there and get lazy or sit back like, hey, everything is good. You know what I'm saying? Because you could lose your head. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody is so there's always somebody coming up. There's always a next runner up that's behind you. So you always got to stay on top of your game when it comes to that.
Yeah, and especially in these traditions, also, same thing. Lose your head before you lose it. Be aware when you're dealing with your inquisis or with whatever you got in your house or your munanzos. Pay attention because a lot of times we lack the understanding of our inquisis or what they're trying to say to us, and they actually are trying to grab our attention to prepare us for an outcome that's probably already out in the wind
Mhm.
against us. You understand? So also we use that. You need to use that also.
Yeah.
Which it represents the beginning. Once again, now we're gonna go back to it. How many people start in the beginning of a process and they're thinking about the end? They
Mhm.
don't think about the now.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that can be a mistake. Others are backwards. They worry about the now and they don't think about the beginning.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? It must be a perfect balance between seeing the long game and taking each step at a time, one step after another to, let's say, climb the mountain. Must be a balance. So you have to understand alone when you see Kualamuka is about gaining and maintaining
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
assessing things, having structure or an organization. Another thing about that, Kolamuga representing the beginning, we know that that which you can see is a part of what you see, and that which does not end. Also, what does not end does not begin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Many people start processes and they bring things from past experience or trauma or other relationships into new ones, and you cannot start off like that. That's why it's requiring once again to be organized, to understand, to let go of that which doesn't serve you any longer within old processes, which we were speaking about that. And as leaders, we have to think like that. Just because you were a leader at some place or a manager somewhere, you get another job, another position somewhere else, and you started a new process, does not mean that you can take all your experience and put it there and use that to your benefit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because when I first met Andy, you see me as a leader, as the head before he became a head, right, of his own things. I only had a prior knowledge of my godfather and other god kids that I had. Then I get another godchild. I can't treat Andy and another godchild and the ones before all the same because everybody's different. You must adjust yourself whenever you start a new process within life. You get me? Well, whatever
Mhm.
circumstances are there, because that which does not end does not begin. Also, understand that what has happened in the past, let that be in the past. Learn from it, but you must let it go to
Mhm.
continue a new process. You get me?
And that's hard with kolamukas.
For sure.
People that carry kolamuka, I could tell you it's hard because, especially when I was younger. When I was younger, any 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 pain, right, or any misfortune or any anger, right, whether it be with somebody in the streets or a problem, any problem, right. Let's put it maybe simple. Somebody could yell out of the car obscene word at me, right, and I jump real quick to cuss at them back. But here I am looking at the car. What color is it with the license plate? And like it used to stay there, and I will be like a week with that color, that make, that model, that license plate, and everything. I'm like, why? I only said a bad word, and I said a bad word back. That's called a muka for you, bro.
That's Kolamoga right there for you.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Now, when it comes to the day, once again, right, represents the sun and the daylight. If it's a man, Andy was speaking about it, duality. And we have to understand daytime and there's nighttime. The
Exactly.
on, the off, the right, the left, the up, the down, the male, the female, the hot, the cold, the in, the out. All levels of polarity are there. Rich and poor. This all polar opposites of each other, right?
Yeah, fit there.
The person who has this code needs to understand that they must have a polar opposite as a spouse. Somebody who can ground them.
Mhm.
See what I'm saying? Somebody who doesn't let them just see one side of the duality. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, because sometimes it is beneficial for your spouse to tell you the truth, your friends to tell you the truth.
Mhm.
You get me? Your godchildren, your godparents, close siblings to tell you the truth, to
Right.
be the duality of whatever that you're seeing. If you're seeing something negative, oh no, this is bad, this is this, I'm in a messed up situation. Those people come speak duality into you. No, no, you got to look at it like this. Look, this is beneficial. This could have happened like this. It could have happened like that, and vice versa. Look, I'm about to get a house. I'm about to do this. I'm about to start this business. I'm about to get this new job, and this other person comes and tells you, look, but this is the problems with that. This is the problems with this. They give you duality to see not just the good in something, but also let you see the bad. See
Right.
both aspects.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the
You
yin
get
and the
me?
yang.
The yin and the yang. You
Mm-hmm.
get me? Which that's within the Chamalongus. You can clearly see them there.
Mm-hmm.
When it's in polarity, the black ones and the white ones.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? Which is there. Well, in relationships, we already know another thing this year. Oh, we got
What you pre-
Mongami here.
well,
I don't
we
know.
got
I
we
don't know if he's
got
gonna show himself or not, but he's here. What's going on, M1? This is M1, right? M1, M2. We got both of them here. Anyway, um, when it comes to the daytime too, within relationships, how many people during the day life is busy? You have problems within your relationships.
right.
Use your head before you lose it. You see what I'm saying? When I'm referring it in this aspect, you guys are in the daytime involved with life processes, kids, this, and that, but you guys come to have arguments. And when the night falls, you must learn to use your head before you lose it. And you're like, what do you mean? Yeah, let's set your emotions aside. And when you lay together in that bed, let's say speak the duality of things, or you guys are not seeing eye to eye.
Mhm.
You get me? Because many people have issues within their relationships, and when they go to sleep mad. You get me? And during the day, they don't see each other because they're working life processes, this, and that. And that sun rising and set, the not becoming aware of the smaller things, the smaller issues that are happening within processes. That those small ones are the ones that are impacting things bigly.
Mm-hmm.
You see what
Mhm.
I'm
Big.
saying?
Right.
It has nothing to do with, oh, she's talking to another guy, texting another guy. It has nothing to do with my husband's talking to a coworker, texting on the cell phone. That's another codes. And this code, the problems within the relationships, even though it can exist, those bigger ones, it's the small ones. The
Mhm.
ones where your wife told you, put your shoes in the front door.
Mueve la
Bring me a
cama,
gallon of milk for the babies.
tú
Can you
mueve
take
la
out the
cámara.
trash?
Mueve la
Huh?
cámara un poquito más para que se te vea mejor.
Right?
Porque, sí, porque tú te metes para la esquina, eh.
Yeah,
There
I'm
we
all
go.
over the place.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as they're listening though, which
Yeah,
I
but
like that
you
um,
always do that. You be hiding half of your head.
I've always duality, only see half of me.
Duality, yeah.
Anyway, it is that it's the small things that are overlooked within the relationships, and you're not aware of them. Kolamuka represents awareness, and it has duality, the conscious and the subconscious. So many things we do subconsciously because of our vices and our patterns and habits that we do, but they ripple and cause effects negatively within our relationships, within our spouses, and we overlook them, and that's what's building up
Right.
through time, through what things are changing.
Mhm.
As that sun is rising and setting, and as they're building up until a little major problem comes out, and that's where you see the big problems within the relationships because she's been tolerating too much or because he's been tolerating too much. And things haven't been spoken and haven't been, let's say, made aware within both partners or spouses or business people, etc., etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in Kolamuka. And once again, us as leaders, because Kulamuka represents leaders. We have to understand that we're only as good as much as we are aware. We have to be aware of what process was going on to the best of our abilities. You get me?
Mhm.
We also have, you have it all yet you have nothing.
Mm.
What do you guys think about that? What does it mean by
Well,
that?
well, this how I kind of see it. Like if you in a position and you feel like, hey man, I know this, I got this. But yet you
Mhm.
have it all, but you have nothing because there's always something there that you can't see. Like Ben Buddha always says, yo, part of what you see is also what you don't see at the end of the day. So there's
Mhm.
always something there that's either higher or lower that you need to start paying attention to. You have it all, but yet you have nothing.
Which I'm loving it.
Yeah, I like that one. I think I got something. Uh, you have life, right? You got the echo, but you have life. You have all this life, and you have all these opportunities. But at the end of the day, when you transition, you got to go. You have it all, but you have nothing because you can't take that shit with you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which that's the thing with Nkolamuka. You have it all yet you have nothing. How many people have it literally all, but they focus on what they don't have?
Hmm.
And that's
Mhm.
where the issues and problems come and the little things. Um, they don't see the little things that they have acquired. You guys can hear me good,
Yeah.
Yep.
right? You have it all, yet you have nothing. They have acquired houses. The kids are healthy. They have a wife. They have a husband. They have a job. They have everything that you can wish for,
They're
and yet they
miserable.
feel empty inside.
Hmm.
Exactly, they're miserable. They feel empty inside.
Mm-hmm.
You having key seeds or your spirituality is on point. The Christians, whatever it is, and yet they're miserable. The many people that you see out within the communities that are very vibrant, um, very vibrant, positive outside, but deep down they're full of darkness.
Mhm.
So this code also carries that. And you're like, whoa, what do you mean by that? I'm like, yeah, to be a leader, to be a boss, to be a politician, to be an artist, to be a king or a queen, you have it all, yet you have nothing. And why does that? Why do I say that? Because people see you in one way.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? Like if you have it all, but deep down, you really don't have nothing. Because what we search for, what we really want, and what we're searching for is for what we need. It has nothing to do with materialistic things in the outside. And when you're a politician, an artist, or fame, or all of those type of things like that, or in great positions, you have it all, yet you have nothing is referring to you can't connect with people genuinely because you always think that they're out to get something that you have. They
Mhm.
only like you due to the status, not because of who you are, because of the money that you hold, because of the career that you have, because of the rooms of business people that you're involved in, et cetera, et cetera. Not because of who you genuinely are. So those people who will carry this code heavily, um, and a lot of people have it,
Hmm.
they can't find somebody that is very genuine with them.
Mhm.
You get me?
Mhm.
Another thing is letting you know that you have it all, yet you have nothing is referring to that. When are you gonna be content with life? Everybody wants more and more and more and more and more and more. And you see what I'm saying? This Fumba kicked this out. He's telling you, hey, when are you gonna be content?
Right.
See what I'm saying? You're looking up all the time and never looking down and assessing where you're at within life, the position that you stand upon, because there's a whole lot of people under you that are in worse conditions. And many of us as diviners, like Yaya Zula, Mavumbe Mugami Zizongo, Tatembazo and Tembo, all of us and other priests, AZ, all of these priests we know that are diviners, we come to understand, and even Lao Chinese Fa, they also come to understand when you go to do readings for people and you see their problems. You see what I'm saying? And you see this Kolamuka, eh, let's say, it humbles you. It
Mhm.
really does. It really does humble you because many people have all types of problems. And you're like, oh man, I thought I was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Until I did that reading. into I seen this problem, this situation for this other person.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
have it all yet you have nothing.
I think the people that carry Kolamuka, like you said, they, as far as not having friends or not trusting people, due to the experiences that they have had in their life, you understand, with others, with people who they have opened up, because also Kolamuka people, not speaking about myself, we open up to people. We free, we like, I'm a person that I open up to, if you cool with me, I'm cool with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you treat me good, I treat you the same way, and I turn my back forward, backwards to help you out and everything. But at the same time, when you get, uh, uh, I guess, ¿cómo se dice? Traicionado, cuando te traicionan.
Betray.
When you get betrayal from someone, or,
Um,
or someone that you thought that was, your friend, that he was there for you, or a girl, whatever. That's it. I'm Colamuca for me is it made me in a way that, the way I see it is that all I have to go through that is one time,
Mhm.
and I never want to go through that again. Like, I won't even look to that. I won't even try it again. You understand? That's how I see Colamuca. Real stubborn also on people who, as with spouse, with the cheaters, playing behind your back. I'm telling you, for me, one time, told my ex old lady, we have spoken in the, within life, when we were young. I said, this is the only thing I will not tolerate. You talking to somebody behind my back, you writing someone, because this was the age when the computers started coming on the scene, them big computers with look like bellies and stuff, and AOL, and then everybody used to chat and they used to battle against in chats. And I used to tell her, that computer, I don't like that, but that brings problems. And that's what it did. She started chatting around with guys, young, blah, 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 blah. I found out we were married. Supposedly there was no intimacy or contact physical. I still divorced her.
wow.
And we have one, two, three kids together, because that how you say it,
Betrayal.
yeah, that was a betrayal. You understand? How can I trust you
Lots of
after that?
trust.
I can't trust you with a computer.
Right.
I
So
took I took the hammer to it.
let's apply it to
Lose
life.
your head. You lost your head.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's apply it to life. When you're in the beginning of the relationships, how many people choose their spouses out of emotions and not out of the red flags that they're seeing? You get me?
Mhm.
And that's another thing.
Yep.
Things change. People change through time. So you always got to stay aware of how they're being adjusted to it,
All right.
on what life is bringing them. Because next thing you know, they meet a friend at work, and the friends are younger than them, and they influence your wife, they influence your husband, they bring him out to the bars, this, and that. So you see, morality when you start relationships is very important. So those things don't happen. But at the end of the day, it's better to end, because you can be
Mm-hmm.
sleeping with the devil themselves. If they can do that, what can't they also do?
Exactly.
Um, et cetera, et cetera. Even though people make mistakes, but you see, there's no right or wrong at the end of the day. It has to do with what you can live, because it's awareness. What can
Yep.
your conscience take?
Mm-hmm.
What can that conscience of yours take? Andy saying it. I can't live like this.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be thinking about my wife 24 hours a day doing me wrong, or anything that happens. I can't trust her.
Can't
Might
do
as
that.
well end it.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Can't do
Which I
that.
agree. Which I agree with that. Some people forgive and they move on. They move forward. It doesn't stay in their conscience. Um, that's all has to do with Kolamuka. You
Colamuca
see what I'm saying?
people, they ain't leaving their conscience.
Yeah, that ain't leaving the
So,
conscious, and that's
just
the
that
truth.
stain.
That's lingering.
That's
Man,
lingering there.
for years.
Yeah, you can't let it
Now,
go.
what about this too? You have it all, yet you have nothing. How many people start processes in the beginning and they have it all? I'm not referring to the position itself. I'm
Right.
referring. I'm referring to their family, their elders, their community, their
Right.
spouses, their friends who are upholding them, pushing them forward. And at the end, when they make those positions, when they get, I guess, to the throne of life, right? They have nothing. They're by themselves. You get me?
Oh,
They
Mm.
have no community.
I also
You
look
have
at
it all, yet you have nothing.
you have it all, you have nothing with what you just said with the elders and the community and the family and the children and all that is that because of lack of wanting to take that wisdom, wanting to take in those experiences from the elders, wanting to take that advice from your wife, you know, you don't do it. So you have it all. You had it all. You had the people that were
You
holding you
had
up.
the
You had the
advice.
advices. You had people telling you and trying to guide you and all that, but you wasn't listening. So now you lost it. What you gonna do now?
Now you have nothing. You let your
Yeah,
emotions cloud your judgment.
judgment
You couldn't think stoically or intelligently to what other
intelligently.
people were saying.
Yeah, you hard headed.
Hard headed.
Mm-hmm. That's
You know how they
crazy.
say a hard head makes a soft fast. That's another message.
You know
In other
what
words,
about the people that think they have it all but don't have anything?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got those out there. They think
Hmm.
that they have it all and they really don't got nothing. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They're sick up there.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
another conversation
That's
there.
true.
Mm-hmm.
You think that you have it all and really have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put that out to the Inkishis. Many people think that they got stuff in their pots
Mm-hmm.
and they have nothing. You hear me? Don't let your emotions cloud your
Yeah.
judgment and see consistency. See
Right.
the stuff that it says, see the ripple effect, see if it's working, see if it's there, see if all of that stuff.
Right.
You get me?
Right.
Don't let me just say that. You see what I'm saying? You have to test it. You just can't go by what people say. Somebody tell you there's nothing in that pot, don't go with that. And
Mm-hmm.
somebody tell you you got a spirit in that pot, don't go with that either.
Mm-hmm.
You have to see if it's there. You got to see, feel it, experience it for yourself. You
Yes,
have it
sir.
all, yet you have nothing. Testing process of it. You get me?
Yeah.
You have it all, yet you have nothing. But that's the thing. I have it all, and if I don't have you guys, yet I have nothing. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I take that interpretation, or I look at it like that. Um, because the most important things that we have in this world are relationships.
Yes, sir.
Everything comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
Money, status, houses and positions and all of that. Everything
Everything.
rises and sets just like the sun. But one thing is relationships,
Mm-hmm.
experiences that we have with one another.
Right.
And even those sometimes do set, but you can always look back to them for
Mm-hmm.
good moments that you had,
Of course.
learning lessons.
Mm-hmm.
You have it all, yet you have nothing. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
That you have it all, yet you have nothing. I see that with a lot of mothers, right? That
Yeah.
at the beginning, you understand, they with their childrens and stuff like that, and their sons and their daughters, you know, they I would say they didn't take advantage, right, of what they had, and now that son or daughter is not here no more. You understand? Because it doesn't just have to be the elders; it also could be anyone from your family, any child, any friend, any young kid, anything that you had experience with, and that you probably cherished, loved. You had them around you, and you thought that they were gonna last an X amount of time. Why? Because they're younger than you. You would never think that they will go because you know that for us, when you get older is when you're supposed to go. You know what I mean? Not young. And here you take for granted that time that you should have spent with them talks. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? To been building. And now all of a sudden they're gone. You know what I mean? You had it all, but yeah, you have nothing. Because you was thinking about the long run. Oh, they're gonna still be here. Can't think like that. Like you say, we only here for an X amount of time, very short.
No, many of these people up on this live right now, they have it all, yet they have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? They
Yes,
got
sir.
all the information that you can give to them, but deep down, they have nothing. Due
Mm-hmm.
to the fact that they let their emotions cloud their judgment,
Mm-hmm.
due to the fact that they see life a certain way. You see what I'm saying? Many times we have great opportunities when you're in the beginning. I'm specifically speaking about the newcomers,
Mm-hmm.
the outsiders, the new initiates. They have it all, yet they have nothing. Think about this. How many people on these lives got godparents? You get me? And
Mm-hmm.
they can extract knowledge from them, but they choose not to. They choose to
Mm-hmm.
jump from live to live and house to house, to get knowledge there. They have it all, yet they have nothing. Think about that, huh?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
How many people, like Andy was speaking, they have it all, yet they have nothing. They decide to have a house, wife, and kids. This has to do with the women. They have a husband that works, blue collar man, have kids, have house, everything is good, and they decide to cheat with a coworker. They have it all, yet they have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You get me?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
It's a bunch of people living this goddamn code and they don't pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has to do with duality.
Mm-hmm.
Or really, what matters? It's not what you want, it's what you
Need.
need.
Not being
Well,
content.
not being content.
Mm-hmm.
When I see this code, it gets me sometimes a little bit
Pissed
mad, a little
off.
bit heated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets me a little bit pissed off and heated because you don't see life correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? You don't see life correctly, so you got to see things a little bit more deeper. You get
Yep.
me?
And it's due to the stubbornness of this code who carries it, being too stubborn.
Us as elders too. Think about it. You have to take that approach. How many times have we sat here on live and we said it? I don't know anything. We have it
Exactly.
all, yet we have nothing. We have all the knowledge, but we don't know
You don't
nothing.
have nothing. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
know
You get
nothing.
me?
Yeah.
It's a,
Nobody does.
you get me? We live this code a lot.
At least we have come to that understanding and know that we don't have nothing.
What about this within life? Within what I'm applying to both processes. If you're single and you're trying to fend for yourself in your life, you have it all, yet you have nothing. You get me? Because you need, once again, within this Coco Lamuka, you need duality. You need to have a woman who helps you fight against the battles of life, or vice versa. If you're a woman or whatever sex, you need a partner. You need a
Yeah.
partner that helps you, cares for you, and fends for you within life. You have it all, yet you have nothing. You get
Yep.
me?
Exactly.
Um, and that's the problem. Many people only see what they want. They want to see what they don't want to see. They don't look at for what they really need, and vice versa. Sometimes people have it all, and yet they have nothing. They're going through divorces, and they're saying, "Man, I have nothing," but in reality, you have everything. You have everything
Mm-hmm.
to goddamn gain. You're up in the hole or in the problem, but from here on out, you have everything else to gain. The guy was a drunk, the guy was abusive, the guy was doing this, the guy was doing that to you. You couldn't, you didn't even have a bank account. The guy didn't give you money for you to even buy pads, all these situations. And you thought that was your everything. You get me? And now you're going through a divorce, you're trying to leave him, but you're not understanding that you're going to gain everything. You have it all, yet you have nothing. You get me?
Right.
Yep.
You have to speak to the women like that because many women don't give value to themselves. You get me?
Right.
And
Mhm.
within the traditions, women, they have it all, yet they have nothing. You get me? And that's the
Exactly.
truth.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Mhm.
They
is the
have all
truth.
the goddamn power, all the things, but they have nothing because they choose not to stand up and fight for them. And many of these priests don't give them the positions that they need due to the politics of these traditions. You get me?
Mhm.
Politics and fear.
And fear. You get me? That's another thing we got to speak about there. And that's in Kolamuka.
Mhm.
Yep.
So it's a very delicate balance of gaining and maintaining.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's flipped back around. The woman's 45 years old. She has it all, yet she has nothing. She's a CEO, $1.2 million house, 4 cars in the garage, but there's no husband. There's no kids. You have it all, yet you have nothing.
You die by
You see what I'm
yourself.
saying? You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing of life. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Many people go through the early stages of life having it all. So then at the end, they're gonna have nothing. Many people think that they're not gonna end up in nursing homes. Many people think that they're not gonna die alone. No, 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 no. Relationships are the most important things we have. Descendants are the most important things that you can have. You don't know what it must feel like to be dying in a nursing home by
Nursing home.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Where your social security and your retirements are paying that off, and nobody comes to visit you. You have it all, yet you have nothing. You see what I'm saying? And that's some sad life experiences there for you.
It's sad. It's sad. Listen, I have spoken to a couple of pharmacists, right? Because I've been working for pharmacy for almost 8.5 years, and I go through seeing a lot of different type of pharmacists, and the majority of these pharmacists are older people. They're in their 60s and up. I'm telling you, the pharmacist that we have right now, he's like 74, 73, 74. And I speak to him, why are you still working? Why? One, if you don't work for a company that's paying you a salary with medical, with benefits, with 401k, with all this, they themselves have to save money and do their own thing. And a lot of them don't do that. So they end up working their whole life. They never enjoy life. Never. And this has I see this already with more than 5 or 6 pharmacists, male and female. And I asked them the same question. They give me the whole story. Some have worked for big companies that went out of business and all this, and they cheated them from their money. But usually is that since they work for themselves, they're licensed, they have to pay for everything, their own medical, their own, a 401k if they want to open their own retirement plan, and a lot of them don't do it because the money don't give. The pharmacist right now that's working in one of our pharmacies, he takes care of his elderly mother. They live together in an apartment. So imagine, he takes care of her and he works 6 days a week, 70
Wow.
something years old, don't have a penny. And he has sons, adults that should help him, and he's helping his sons.
Mm.
One is into drugs. He's in abusing, and one is into bodybuilding, also abusing the other type of drugs, and he helps them out. Unbelievable.
You have it all, yet you have
They have
nothing.
nothing. Like we more his family at the pharmacy than anybody else.
Wow.
And you get me? And how
Yeah,
many priests? How many priests come around that you look at them and they look like they have it on, yet they have nothing, and vice versa. You look at priests, some of them look like they have nothing and they have it all. So you got to pay attention. Once again, it has to do with sight. With the
Hmm.
vision, so you can see the path. You really got to understand a
hmm,
way to look at things for what they are, and don't look up to them. Don't look down at them. Look at them for what they are. You know what I'm saying? All this social media crap,
yeah.
TikTok, YouTube, Facebook,
Oh
Instagram,
yeah.
all of that. They have it all, yet they have nothing. Everybody.
Hmm.
Listen to what I'm telling you. Because one thing is what you're projecting, another thing is what it is. And I keep saying it everywhere I go. Everybody's filled with problems. You have
Exactly.
it all, yet you have nothing. You can lie to others. You can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to me because I already know life. You see what I'm saying? We're going through these processes. And you have
Exactly.
it all, yet you have nothing. Everybody here has problems. And that's the truth of
Exactly.
that. You get me?
Yeah.
And it has to do with Kolamuka heavily, bro.
I think that we're at this stage in time, right now in this world, Kolamuka is heavy because things are crazy. Things are being unbelievable. Things are very unbelievable, like hard. You understand? I've been watching a couple of groups here and then in TikTok where they argue certain things about politics and all that, and I'm like, wow, a lot of these people are so hard headed, right, close minded that they can't really see what's happening on the other side behind them.
Mm.
And that's Kolamuka for you.
Hmm.
Like you ask them, is food expensive? Nah, man. What are you talking about? Food is expensive. Is fuel expensive? Man, where I'm at is such and such the gallon. And I'm like, all right, okay.
Now, what about this one? You know how they say, you have it all, yet you have nothing? But I'd rather lose your head before you lose it.
Right.
Use your head before you lose it. How many people, out of the kindness of their hearts, lost their head because of another person? Because we know con la muca, culta cabeza.
Sí, sí,
See what I'm
corta
saying?
cabeza.
How many people you decide, you see what I'm saying, to give everything to them and leave yourself with nothing? How many people you decide to invest in their time, to give them everything that you own, the shirts off your back, to somebody that's not worth it at the end? You get me? Use your head before you lose it. Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. Remember that within Kolamuka, many people are going to come out of interest and they're going to use you as a stepping stone
Hmm.
to get to another position within life and not even give you credit. They have it all when they're with you and you're going to be their all. And then when they leave or when they rise, they'll forget you
Hmm.
and you are nothing to them.
That's right.
That happens a whole lot
That's
within
right.
life. And this has to do with Kolamuka.
I have
The same
experienced
way
that.
it can happen to you, don't you do it to others.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Within Kolamuka, because many people do that.
Hmm.
They get invested within processes. They invest within people just to extract what they
They
can
need.
whatever they can so they can then climb, and then those people become nothing to them. They have it all, yet they have nothing. Be careful with those type of people.
Yep.
You get me?
Hmm.
That's in this code.
And those you can see those even in your work environments, friends, all types, all types. There's no limitation on those type of people. You gotta be very careful with that because you could get knocked down from your job. You could be a manager or something in a place, and there's another one over there. Just chewing the trying to find out what they could do to get you out of there, but they could be in your position, and that could happen even with a relationship too. Too much of this, you gotta watch it.
Which that happens. It happens definitely within relationships. You have it
Hmm.
all, yet you have nothing. You make somebody your all, and then you make them nothing. How many women go out lurking for men that have money and positions, so they can take it all and put them on child support and slave them into processes? Yeah, that's the truth. And flip it around also. How
Men
many
too,
men want to only sleep with these goddamn women because they look good, and then they dip? Now you're
or
nothing to him. Now he has another girl.
or to
You
gain
see what I'm saying?
something, or to gain something. That experience you're gonna hear a lot from people, from men, and I could tell you by experience and through friends and all that because a lot of people that are in prison, male figures that are in jail right now, right, or incarcerated, okay, and they're gonna do some time. A lot of times, these people don't. Their families are not sending them nothing. You understand? Because they got tired of them. You know what I mean? Doing what they're doing, right? And a lot of these men, what they do is they get in contact with different type of females out here in the world, in the streets, and they start talking and chewing to them. And then with the people they live with in them prisons, the guys, they start exchanging female numbers and friends and stuff like that. When you come to look at it, the guy has 4, 5, 6 girls who calls him up, who pays him commissary, who pays his phone, who pays his cable if they got cable, everything. And it's just this. Oh, and they
Yeah.
gather information from outside or inside. So they
Yeah.
could get they could get their time reduced, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so that's another thing too for the people who are out in the street selling dope or doing illicit activities. You have it all, yet you have nothing. All the friends, all the women, all the parties, all of those things. You have it all right now, but in reality, you have nothing until you find yourself in a hole or inside of a box, looking at the clock. You're gonna have nothing in reality. Who's gonna be there? Who's really gonna be there? It's gonna be your mother if she's there. You get me?
Yeah,
But many times a mother's gonna be there no matter what for the kids, but there's only so much that the process can hold. You
yeah.
get me? So you really
Mhm.
gotta be thinking about the decisions that we gotta make in life that you're making in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
What process you getting yourself involved in? Many of us been through these paths.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us are looking, we can escape them. Other ones get caught to the life processes. And what they're looking at in a box, looking at the time, the sun rising and setting. Just time. That's called Kamuka, looking at time.
And
You get me?
don't think for one. Don't think for one. Listen to me clear. Don't think for one that there's no possibility that you ever could be in that situation. No matter how famous, how much money you have, how intelligent you are, how low, whatever, middle class, whatever, don't think for once that there's not a possibility that one day you can end up there. Like we say, God forbid, but you know how it is.
I like that. Use your head before you lose it. Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. You have it all, yet you have nothing.
Nothing.
When it comes to priests within the tradition,
There you
you
go.
have it all, yet you have nothing. It's referring, don't let your negative emotions cloud your judgment. Don't be sleeping with your goddaughters.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be thinking that you the what you call a papa upa, how we
And
say.
Mayimbe.
You see what I'm saying? El Mayimbe, el bravucón de la película,
Right, the
Sosa
big dog, the
on
big
land,
dog.
yeah, the big dog,
I'm the
and
best.
think
Yeah.
that the Fumbas aren't gonna apply it to you. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? The same way
Mhm.
you have it all, yet you have nothing. They can take it all, throw you in jail, take it all from you because of
Mm-hmm.
your decision and the way that you interact with the dead. These things are serious.
Get
How
you
many people
sick.
you have also met that? How
Yeah.
many people you meet that they have it all and yet they have nothing due to the character that they are, the type of people that they are. They look down upon other people not for genuine love or human beings. They see
Right.
them less because they wear Nikes instead of, let's say, Balenciagas. You
Right.
get me?
Yeah.
Or they don't drive a Mercedes. They look at a person who's on the side of the street less
Mm-hmm.
than them because
Exactly.
he's in the side of the street and thinks that that can't be him.
Mm-hmm.
You get me?
It'll never be him. That's what they think. It only takes a decision.
And all
One.
it takes are decisions.
Vision.
So that's another thing with this quote, right? It's telling us humble yourself and understand what life is all about. And you're
Exactly.
like, what do you mean? And it's very important if you got 17, 18-year olds getting out of high school or even coming into high school, ninth, 10th grade, these are the code. This code is very important to start to teach them. These life lessons that this code holds.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't teach your children this code at those ages, they can fall victim
Mm-hmm.
when they're young adults.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand that not everybody is good. You see what I'm saying? At those ages.
Right.
So for the parents that are all here and they got their kids within the traditions and are teaching them and all of this about the ancestors and their lineages and all of that, empower them, teach them. Kolamuka, hey, my son, use your head before you lose it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my son, my daughter, you have it all yet you have nothing.
Nothing. Mm-hmm.
You get me?
Start applying it.
Start applying it to your life. You're
Applying it.
living within the circle of life. This is the reality of things.
Mm-hmm.
Make awareness to them
Exactly.
before it's too late. Before it's too late.
See?
You get me?
That's it. Straight up.
'Cause that's the truth. We start processes and we get into problems due to the fact that we're not aware of the path. We're not aware of what's really about to happen. We're only seeing where we want to be and where we are now. We don't see in between. And there's never been a narrow path. Even though my golf used to say walk a narrow path, and I'm like, how the hell to do that? Because life, there's no guarantees.
Right.
Things are never somewhat never guaranteed. The person who does the right things even gets fucked up. Even that
Yeah,
you can do
exactly.
everything right in life, and somebody you getting out your car, they shoot you for no reason for 50 cents that is inside of your door for 50 cents that is
Yeah.
inside the glove compartment.
Yeah, they
You
got
get
you
me?
confused. They got you confused with someone else.
They
I'm
got you confused with someone else.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
You gone. Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
this code is very strongly. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to open it up?
What else you got? Let me see. We got okay. Oh yeah, nothing. Some leadership. You spoke about health already. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very emotional code. It's a code also of stubbornness, hard headedness. It's a code of leadership, but you have to be there in order to be able to lead. You understand that you have to humble yourself in order to be a leader because you can't be a leader thinking that you're better than anyone or better than this person or that person, better than that co-worker or whatever. You can't do that. You understand? That's not gonna lead you nowhere. It's only gonna what we say blow up your head, and when you blow up your head, your own head, forget about it. No one is blowing it up for you. It's only you.
Andy, you can look up something on
Yeah,
Google
go
and stuff
ahead.
like that.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell. This has to do with this code. My godfather taught me. He taught me the poem Rage, and then he taught me this poem too when I was a young kid. And it has to do with Kolamuka. Don't learn to walk among. I don't know. It's there. Look up the poem If.
The
I don't know
po-
about who it is.
the
It's called
poem,
If.
poem
Yeah.
if
And at the end it says, "You'll be a man, my son." It says that at the end. If or you'll be a man.
the poem if
This has.
was it by a British writer?
I think so. Once you start it,
The poem if
if
is by a British poet. Okay, said if you can't keep your head when all about you, if you can't keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can't trust yourself when all men doubt you, but you make allowance for their doubting too, if you can't wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give away to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your own aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, so that it's just my
Mhm.
eyes are bad. and treat those impostors the same. If you can't bear to hear the truth you're spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. Something like that. Hold on. Let me zoom this in a little bit more. All right. Okay. Or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give away to hating. And yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can't dream and not make dreams your master.
Your
If you
masters.
can't think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat
And
those
treat
two
those
imposters
imposters the
just the
same.
same. If you can bear
Mhm.
to hear the truth, you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out
No
tools.
tools.
If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your losses, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone. And so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can't talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common
Common
touch,
touch. You
if
see?
right, a common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worthy of distance run, yours in the earth and everything that's in it, and which it more you'll be a man, my son. I gotta look for a better one because it's like the punctuation
Yeah.
inside is like
Yeah, no, it's,
all
that's
over the
good. You
place.
see, he says, even if you hang with what you call with foes or whatever, don't lose the common touch.
Yeah, it says, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worthy of distant run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which
My
is more, you'll be a man, my son,
son.
to serve your long term. Yeah, it's deep.
That's that. He taught me that when I was young.
Yeah, it's deep.
And you had to apply it within Kamuka, the same one as Rage. But that poem, what who is it by?
It
Is
is
I know it's called
it's by a British poet called Rudyard Kipling. Oh yeah, Kipling. Rudyard Kipling. That's an old poem. That's well, they put it up here in 2020, but it was translated by Dr. Hassan Hegazi in 2008 in Arabic. They translated it in Arabic. Okay.
The World Can Be Yours, my son. Yep, that's the truth.
Yeah, but you see how it's teaching you even when you can't count on those who you have given your all to. You understand? So don't look at that. Like
Think
keep
about that.
on. You know what I mean?
Think about that, Tata Zongo. Think of you guys, everybody here. Think about that. You have it all, yet you have nothing. When you go to the casino and you go, you put all your earnings in there. You have it all, yet you have nothing. It's all no and a
Yeah,
pitch of toss.
it's on that toss exactly
And you
on
see
that
what I'm saying?
machine.
Not to get worried about it or anything. Yo, I lost this one, man. Let's continue life. You see what
It's
I'm
a
saying?
chance. It's a chance.
It's a chance. You lose, you lose. You win, you
Yeah,
win. Not to let
yeah.
anything bother you. Understand that you got life ahead of you still. You get me? The decisions we make though.
Right. I think that life, like if people were really to realize and look at life in itself, the most important part about life is your health. You understand? Once you have health, anything else is possible, no matter what conditions or what situations you've been in or through. I'm a prime example. You understand? So, and I know that a lot of many people out here are prime examples. So I really think that if you just start using this, your head, and don't lose it, you could climb up from whatever ditch you're in. You understand? Especially our people that we wherever you put us at, we rolling. We eat cheese sandwiches every day. I mean, it's not. Believe me, we make it work. Well, we're gonna
And
go with
that's
the questions.
yeah, let questions come through. And that's the thing. Use your head before you lose it.
If
Let these
anybody has
questions start coming
questions,
through.
real quick, if anyone has questions, you should start putting them now. Like that, we'll start answering them. Well, Tata Matama will start answering them.
No, you guys too. You guys too. What's going on, my Vungu? We've been doing this for a while, huh?
Yeah, Babongo
Yeah.
está calladito.
Yeah, está calladito.
He quiet. He quiet. He quiet because I'm here, and because when he with you, he be talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, Bajito,
Nah,
Yeah,
I'm
he
joking.
said
I'm just
Padrino's
joking.
on here.
Who's
He said
here?
Padrino's on here. Let me be quiet.
Oh, Yaya Zula. Yaya Zula's on the road. Okay.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
road
I'm
runner.
here. I had to leave the shop.
Yeah, I saw when you turned the camera. I was like, "Oops, she got a customer or something." And then
I
Bungami here too. He quiet. What's up, Bungami? You okay?
Probably busy too.
Yeah, he probably just listening with the earphones on. Have been written in the late 1800s and
Yeah,
was
I'm good.
published in 1910. Salam alaikum, my godson. How you doing?
Look on so I'm good. How are you guys?
Ah, we chilling, man. You sound like one of those radio.
great.
You know, he got a great voice for this.
Oh, don't do me like that.
Yeah, you got that night room, woo woo. You know that locutor voice.
Let me see. I think they do got a question. Question: Being in this path, scratch. Should there be a code to
Oh
live
yeah, but that was
by a
earlier
certain
today. Yeah, that
by a
was early.
certain goal? Yeah, that was earlier. If you guys got questions, you can throw them on there. They say questions. Being on this path, scratch. Should there be a code to live by a certain goal?
Yeah, so there should be a goal, a code to live by, and then to get for the goals that they're trying to, occur or have in their life or something.
What do you?
The thing with this is that not everybody uses codes in these traditions. You understand? So it's very hard just to speak about code. I mean, it's not hard to speak about code, but it's hard to put all the munansos in one box when not everyone divines the same way using code.
Yeah, I don't know if he's speaking about the binary codes or if he's speaking about
I
codes
think
like of a life.
I think it is basically
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
question
trying to say.
being in this path,
Well, you can go
scratch.
to Amazon and buy you a copy of Binary Codes of Nkisi Malongo. I think that'll help you along.
Fact,
I'll help you if he's
fact.
speaking about those
Yeah,
codes.
yeah.
But it says question:
Yeah,
Being
it
on this
sound like
path.
yeah, because it sounds like it's a code like kind of like how the army has its own code or the navy has its own code like
Yeah,
commitment. You
morals,
know that
codes, and
type.
convictions.
That's what I'm getting from it right there.
Yeah, universal.
Yeah.
Yeah, should there be codes? Yeah, well then, at least for this, from my perspective, um, every house within Palo, this is within Palo, every house, every practitioner got their own codes. It's not like Ocha where they have to follow the commandments and shit like that, 16 commandments or anything. No, 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 no. Over here, to each his own. We obviously the decisions you make, you're gonna reap the consequences of them. And that's the truth. What do you think, Mavu?
Yeah, as far as a code, I mean, I feel like I agree with you. It's like wherever you're at, there's going to be different styles of play. Whatever house that you're going to be in. So the code, I feel like it's going to be based off of whatever your house or your Rama kind of goes by initially, and you kind of filter it through that. Anything outside of that, or maybe you were taught, maybe you weren't taught those type of things, but maybe that's something that you can kind of make a commitment within yourself to, like, this is how I want my house to be, or this is how I want to be as a priest, or whatever the case may be.
That's it.
Yeah, because you got to understand that there's codes of ethics. You understand in society, in Munansos, you know. So and it's just not one. It all depends. Like that, and Mabungo said that it depends on what Rama you're in. I was you're gonna have to follow whatever is stipulated under that hammer. What to follow, what to do, what not to do. What you could get away with, what you can't. You understand? But in life in itself, there is a code of ethics. You have to learn of how to. I would think so. How to speak to people, depending on what type of person you're speaking to and what situation, what environment. You know, you see me, I speak here crazy, but when I speaking with somebody that you know that a job interview or something, I'm trying my best to speak as best as I can, look as best as I can. You understand? Because how you look and how you represent yourself and how you speak says a lot about you in the moment. You understand?
Hmm.
Because it does take time for somebody to really know you. But
Consistency. Then you need consistency.
right, exactly.
What's the next one? He says, Tata Andy and Matamba, let's chat. Yeah, I'm all for chatting.
He
We got a
wants
bunch of
to.
priests up here
He
too.
wants.
We
He
got
wants
Yaya
to.
too,
He wants to get in contact with one of us to talk.
which is fine. You got Tata Zongo. I'll be
Let me
gone for a bit.
see. Let me see. I want to. All right, aquí está esto.
What do you think? It says, I want to
Ah,
learn the foundation, but know that
ya está.
every Rama does things differently, and I respect that. Yeah, you gotta learn the foundation for that. You gotta get initiated and being part of a house. They're gonna you learn that really well. You dive in deep into that, learning the culture, the rules of ethics, the way they interact within Kisi's concepts, practice, all of this stuff, their divination systems, all of this stuff. And
Hmm.
once you're a priest and all of that, you start, or if you don't even have to be a priest, sometimes your godparents will allow you or they'll go with you to other houses and you'll see different things.
Hmm.
And you'll start to get an understanding of the different khamas and lineages and different priests of the way they do things.
Right. This is just like you know, I see this like a lot of times, right? When I speak to some people, it's like I I don't know, man. Either I was raised differently, or something is going on with the new generation, or I don't know. I think that sometimes people might be too anxious, too anxious. You know, especially those who've been looking and haven't found someone, or have had bad experiences and are still seeking and looking for someone to guide them and help them or get some knowledge from that. Sometimes if you don't understand the ethics and the politics of this tradition and many others, you could get yourself into some trouble. You could get just your doors closed off from you, because you got to understand that just because you might speak to one or two priests or three priests, a lot of these priests know each other, and your name gets thrown around. And if it's thrown around in a bad context, then you're not gonna get in. In other words, nobody's gonna bring you in. Salam alaikum, brother.
Matiti.
Man, salam
What's
alaikum,
going on?
everybody.
Nobody's gonna
Sounds
Right.
like
let you in. So you close your
Walaikum
own
salam.
doors off and
Praise
you
you,
just starting. Don't do that. If you speak to a priest or a priestess, stay speaking with them. Look for their guidance and their knowledge. Don't make agreements with one and then see somebody else that you think there's more higher than them or knows more and jump. That's no good. You know, no good for you. I'm telling you. I've warned a lot of people, but they don't want to listen. Don't
I
listen to
think
me, man.
too, I think too, you have to know who you are. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know who you are, you don't really know what you're looking for. You want surface level Palo, or do you want think outside the box Palo? You know,
Right,
like Padrino always says, do you want that Santa Claus shit, party and play? That might be what you want. What you need, you're just looking for, somebody to party and play with.
right,
Really want to go deep and understand code, understand really speaking and communicating with the dead, right?
right.
So I think the person has to really understand who they are and exactly what they want.
That's correct. You're absolutely right, Yaya.
And that's expectation management right there. Those the godparents gotta speak that with the god kids. You have to. And there's nothing as I'm saying, for me, there's gonna be houses with a party and play. I'm all for it.
I like my Dr. Sebi in the background.
And there you got Dr. Sevi right there. You see what I'm saying?
I used to watch him a lot. I used to watch him.
He says, look at this other one. As someone who is new to the tradition, how do we balance available information while they're still respecting protocol? That's a good question.
That's what I'm
So it
talking
all
about. The
depends. Yeah, you
ethics.
see, it all depends on what level you're at within the tradition as you initiate. If you're an Engale, available information, you got to pass that through your godfather, everything.
Mhm.
Padrino, like me, my godfather, I used to bring books to my godfather and be like, Padrino, I bought this book, this is and that. I'll read the book and then I'll give it to him, read it. And then he'll be like, you see this Jesus Christ stuff, all this? You know, in Africa, they got colonized, all this stuff. We don't practice like that. Next, et cetera, et cetera. You see, and many times he gave me books too. Look, read these anthropologies, read this, read that. This gonna help you with your practice a little bit more. Um, but I was already up. I already had my sentía and all of that. You see, when I was in engaged with regular tabla and stuff like that, I didn't I didn't you see what I'm saying? I didn't go nowhere without my godfather and everything, all the fundamentals I was in his house. That's what I'm saying. I lived there basically. So he was just
Mhm.
teaching us, teaching us, teaching us, and you lay the foundation. Been in multiple rituals with him, initiation, multiple initiations, exchange of lives, building in kieses, all type of stuff with him. So I got a good foundation. Then from there, once you're a priest, that's where you really want to dive in because now you have the la licencias to dive in into deeper waters, and your godfather is always not going to stop you. He shouldn't. He's going to be saying, "Go and study and see what you can find that I haven't."
It,
Um,
a lot of us in true reality, we have to fail to succeed. I have failed many times, right? Looking for proper places, proper guidance, and multiple traditions, not just Palo. And through time and through experience, I think that those who have poco de cocote, cerebro, could actually discern and know what not to look and what to look for in the next search. You understand? Because a lot of people don't have the availability or the gift of coming in and meeting someone from the rip that is it's thorough. It's going to teach them. It's going to guide them. It's going to put them where they need to be. Not all of us have that gift. You understand? A lot of us have to go through trials and tribulations, through headaches, to spending money, to hardships, to disappointments, in order to gain the knowledge to be able to see now with Bititi, wisdom, really see spiritually who's who. And then you start trying to get in contact with the people that you feel that you already have done research, already have heard about, and you speak conversation, man. Conversation is very important. And that expectation management that brother Tata Ntembo says, that's something that Tata Matamba grabbed from him, and I hit me. I was like, wow, I never expected, I never laid down something with my elder, right? Before that would stipulate what I want from you and what he wants from me. That was never taught to me in the tradition. When I came to Buriuma Mulema Tatamatamba, by him me speaking to me months after months, he started explaining to me certain things and how things had to go. And then when that came in, he didn't have no words for it, but his other godson came up with expected, what is it?
expectation management. He
Expectation
said,
management.
"Yeah,
And
he
from
told me
there
that." He
on,
said,
that's stuck. And I was like, that's true. You understand? Because we never look for this. Like this is something that we don't, it doesn't come out when we are looking for someone for guidance. That expectation management from that person and you yourself, because it works both ways. You're giving something and they giving also.
Yeah.
You understand? So the problem is seeking those who want to give and receive, and not the ones that just want to receive and not give. That's what you got to watch out for.
and then that expectation management came out of. He told me about. I didn't know. I'm getting initiated here because you got good expectation management, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, he was prior military and all of that. He said that to me. I was like, oh, yeah, that's what we do. I kept the word.
Hmm.
But there's a thing within the levels. Expectation management in the beginning.
Right, right,
So y'all
right.
once you're up within the tradition and you're practicing and you know these things and you have your own Nkisi, you have your godparents, that protocol, how to keep protocols is questioning. You can't have a godparent who doesn't allow you to question the tradition, question his medicine,
Hmm.
question his Nkisi. And what I mean by that, there's a
Respect.
line.
Respect.
Yeah, there's a line on how to do that.
Hmm.
You're not doubting on his Mfumbis. You're d- you're not questioning the Mfumbis. You're questioning how things are functioning and why are we doing things.
Right.
Padrino, why do you put the FEMA there instead of over here or instead of over here? And he should be able to tell you. And he tells you, look, I don't know. I learned it from my godfather. At least he's being honest.
Exactly.
You get me?
Exactly.
And vice versa. Once you guys are priest, like Andy, some many times, or Yaya Zula, or Matiti, anybody here, Mavungo, anybody here, and Mungami, anybody tells me, look, no, my Fumbe told me to do it like this. You see what I'm saying? Told me to do it like this because of this. Because I don't know. I'm like, what did he do? And he tells me, no, I put it like this, like that. That's what he told me to do, and it's for this reason. And then it hits me. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes more sense. You get me? It makes sense.
Or
So we
sometimes
teach each other.
we explain something to him and he'll be like, well, what did I ask you for? Oh, well, told me to do this and do that. And I'll be like, oh, you don't know what he mean? This is what he
Yeah,
mean.
yeah. That's another thing. I didn't want to say that, but it's the truth
This is what
because
he mean.
I've been there, and
Right.
I'm there sometimes. Like very few. This might be a 3 or 5%. And what do you guys? Let me explain. Those who are in the practice know that you do medicine by you throw in the shells or whatever, and it's telling you grab this, do it like this. Do you want me to grab that? Yes. Do you want me to grab this? Yes. And you're putting the medicine to work, but you don't know why did you use alcohol that time instead of the gunpowder.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know why did it tell you to get a butterfly. You don't know why it told you to grab, I don't know, snakeskin. You don't know why of what you're building. Why the female, why are those things there like that? It told you to draw that and it agreed with it, but you don't know why. And that's the key I always say. The medicine must be well understood. I've been there. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
still there sometimes at a 3%, 2% level where the Fumba's telling me something. And I'm like, but what the hell the logic out of that is? But I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what he wants, bro. I got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you before you do it, you need to really sit down. If you're good in divination with whatever system, you can ask it. What are we negotiating by doing that? And they'll
Mm-hmm.
tell you this is what if you put that there, this was allowing me to do this, have this type of effect instead of the other ones. So
Mm-hmm.
it's negotiating with you. Um, and that's what obviously God parents and God children, when it comes to that protocol, has to do. Padrino, let's say your godparent within your lineage has always put a machete, let's say by the front door. But you heard that the machete don't need to be by the front door no more. The machete's in the Inkisi. You don't need to do that for whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason. Let's just say that. Yeah, Inkisi told you that. You see, you can ask your godfather, Padrino, I heard that the machete can stay by the Inkisi no. They don't have to be by the front door no more. Because of this reason. You think it's good? If he's a good priest, he tell you. If your Inkisi's telling you that, do it. Um, and now if it's his Inkisi, it's a different conversation.
All right.
He hit me, he's like, did you ask it? Did it tell you
Mm-hmm.
that? Because what you just heard from out there has nothing to do with what's in here. You get me? So
Right.
one thing is what you guys are hearing on these lives and all of these things,
Mm-hmm.
and what you're picking up, and another thing is what's inside those and sokongos and the agreements they have with their inkishis. That's a different conversation. Some things can trickle and they can, let's say, enrich their tradition more. Other things cannot change. They're gonna be like, nah, we still do it like this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Don't do that,
that
sancocho.
yeah, don't do that. That's from their linaje, that's their things.
Right. You
We don't
can't
do
change
those
it.
things.
You
And
can't
you can't
change it.
change it.
The thing that you were
Um
speaking about, and I hate to cut you, because you was going towards that way, but you kind of bear it to the right or to the left about, and I know where you was going kind of with it. I think so. Is the understanding that just because you're an engayo or tata, I'm not saying tata enganga or tata, it doesn't mean that your padrino has to give you all the secrets. Doesn't mean that he has to call you and bring you in every time he has a ritual or he's going to do something. That doesn't mean that. You understand? Don't look at yourself. No, you gotta humble
you
yourself
have it all, yet you have nothing.
because there are stages to this. You understand? And some houses I do understand as an engaged, they're being taught a lot. Things that we don't do. We don't teach in this hammer
Yeah,
to engaged.
we don't teach you and give nothing.
Nothing. But I respect those who do it. You understand? And at the same time, when I have spoken to engagers that have, some knowledge of certain things, and they want to come in, right? But they already have this expectation. They already have, what they want, and you can't come in like that, because number one, you're coming with a programming from another lineage. You're not coming in fresh. And what that does is that brings conflicts between that new godfather, godmother, and you, because you already seen something one way and been taught something this way, and when you see the difference of it, you want to compete or say, no, no, I was taught like this. They don't care how you was taught. You here now, forget what you was taught, and you're gonna learn this way. If not, don't join. Don't go with
Hmm.
them. Simple as that. You have to be willing to let that go. You know, it's the same way like if we would, when we was in Christianity or we was raised up in it, we gotta let that Jesus stuff go in
Hmm.
order to be clean minded and pursue what is true for us. You understand? What makes us right? Go ahead, Dada.
Which I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I didn't have the experience because I was very lucky, but I have the experience as teaching
Right.
people that are coming from different lineages, um, or from other houses, et cetera, which there's no problem with that. But those conversations gotta be had, and I like the ones that are preached. If
Mm-hmm.
they're engaged and tatas, they come. That's easy to teach them because they haven't put it into practice.
Right.
Now the priest, they put those things to practice a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They're interacting with the dead, putting things to work within processes, and that's what I like because then I start questioning them. I'm like, but
Mm-hmm.
why did you do it? From the other house, your other Lina, why do you do that?
Right.
Tell me. And you know, I don't know. That's what I learned. Well, you were doing something. If you don't know what you were doing, then why you
Don't
doing
do
it?
it. Yeah,
Then
don't
don't
do
do
it.
it. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? And that's the key. If they give you the keys, they give you pots, they give you any of that stuff, and they don't teach, then what's the purpose?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If you don't know how to handle yourself with whatever in keys or whatever thing,
And I could tell
that's
you,
why.
and I could tell you honestly, I've been a victim of that, of doing things because I seen do, and they say you do it like this. That's it. No questions asked.
Yeah, no concepts behind it,
No
no
concepts behind it.
explanation.
Nothing.
You get me? No, let's say you know how you go in the calculator, you put 2 times 4 divided by 5, this and that, and you get the
You
result.
get
You're
the
just getting
equation.
results. You're not understanding why that.
How is computing that way? What's
Yeah,
working there?
how is it working? You got to
Right.
put the work in to see how does it give you that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you have to do that hand by hand with work. See
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? You have to work the problem, and that's what I'm referring. You have to ask why those whys. And many priests that I speak to, and even myself, when even still now, sometimes I'm like 99 know what I'm doing. 99% I know what the heck is going on in those encasements. There's certain things I still don't know, and I'm like I have no clue why the hell we do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I still question the way that we do things. I always question it because the concepts can change.
Mm-hmm.
Because once again, back in the day, they had a concept that the Earth was flat, and now they say the Earth is round. We can still be thinking things are like this, and now they're not. They're differently, and that
Listen,
would affect the whole medicine and the way that we see things. But anyway, it has to do with that. You have to question it all. You got to question it.
yeah.
Mm. And you'll see that when many priests you speak, they have
Is Zula's
a
here?
multitude of different traditions and ideologies within their practice of how things are functioning.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, there's levels to it. Some priests dilute all of that at the top tiers, but in the lower ones, it's filled with bull crap. I'm gonna use that. A bunch of we don't know things that they say that they know, other things from other lands, from Buddha, from this, from that, etc., etc. And they hold that there
Mm-hmm.
and they teach it. But as you go ranking within those linajes and those houses, they start telling you, you remember I told you that? Forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Remember all this stuff with this Jesus Christ stuff? Forget that. You
Mm-hmm.
remember this, all of that? Forget that. They start telling you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a process. Then you're like, oh, okay. It's like, that's for the engagos. They'll tell you that. Yo, eso
Mm-hmm.
para los engagos.
Right.
Those are for new. You're not like that no more.
Yeah.
Why? Why the
That
hell
was
they doing that? It has to
a
do.
trial period.
Yeah, it's a trial period. Forget that, this and that. And that happens. You see,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know where you're really at within each linaje and each houses because they teach something at certain levels of explanations. And another thing is at higher levels. For example, I'm gonna give you guys an example. At the lower levels, people think that the dead is walking around like us and we can't see them. The way
Mm-hmm.
the movies play it. And I teach it like that to
Mm-hmm.
lower levels.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get into higher levels of priesthood, you have your inquisis, and we're diving into that. You see Mavungo saying, hell no, that's not like that. You see what I'm saying? We don't explain it like that no more. Like, look, this is kind of like how things are functioning from the concepts.
Right.
From the concepts. If that concept by any chance change, everything starts to change.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Yeah,
You get
shift.
me? It's just like 1 plus 1 equals 2. You see what I'm saying? With a math, if that 1 plus 1 does not equal 2 and it changes mathematical laws, everything, all the whole math, everything that we know about math changes. Same thing
Exactly.
with Nkisi Malongo. It's the concepts, the values that we put to things, and
Mhm.
that's what we're using to run medicine. And it's a spiritual science, like how Tata Matiti said.
It is.
You get me?
It is, and you got to be willing to accept that you're not gonna know everything, and you're not gonna know the science completely. Our duty is to keep on seeking this science to be able to comprehend as much as we can with the Inquisis, with the Infuma, with the Muerto, with our ancestors and everything, so we could get information from them also, so we could be able to move more easily through this realm, the processes of our life. So when we hit that side, we don't have to be here no more. We don't have to come back. If anything, we
Well, we
keep
gotta
moving.
keep moving. No, don't get stuck. That's what he's referring, not to getting stuck.
Uh, I don't know if this is a question or what, but things further
They
hard.
say you can read it, but things.
It says, but things further is a hard stop, and I need to consult my elders. I am thankful for that, as I can learn. But things further is a hard stop, and I need to.
So what about that? What about if the elders don't hold the knowledge? You see what I'm saying? That they require, or what about if the elder stops? What about if he has the knowledge and don't want to give it? Depending on
Exactly.
their stage, you see what I'm saying? So it all depends. It all depends. But once you're a priest, it's different. You see what I'm saying? Once you're a priest, you're the boy suelto. You see what I'm saying? What it refers to that is that you're gonna walk. You're gonna meet other priests, and you guys are gonna start conversating the most important things within the tradition, which is what concepts. Yo, how this stuff is functioning. Everybody wants to know about the practice. Hey, yo, what can I do for a love work? What can I do for money work? What can I do for this, for that? Th- That's practice. That is bullcrap. That's easy. That can change. Everywhere you go, and even within the houses, that will change depending on the circumstance. The most important thing is the concepts. And us priests, behind closed doors, we start to argue and delegate and reason with each other about concepts and how things are working when we're doing medicine. Oh, look, this is my concept, and this is how I used it within the medicine, and this is how I'm getting these effects. This is how I'm seeing the change. And the other priests are like, yeah, this, I agree with that concept, but mine is somewhat different.
Right.
And this is this is the way that we see things, or we're doing things, and we're getting these effects too. And it's that push and pull of back and forth, just like science, quantum physics and regular physics and et cetera, et cetera. The laws of motion, all of these things, it's like a science, different level Paulo. It had nothing to do with a yimbula and drinking beer and or any of that stuff anymore. We're trying to perfect the medicine to have more power, more understanding. The more understanding that you have about the natural and spiritual worlds, the better the medicine is going to be. You get me? And that's why we're
Right.
saying that no matter what land that you're in, you're still going to be doing it somewhat the same because they're working with the natural processes, natural concepts, the laws of nature. And Ifa and Laocha and Impala, Pritimo, everything goes hand in hand, just a different culture. No matter where you're at, you're interacting with the natural laws of nature in the spirit realm. You
Right.
just got to understand the concepts.
I guess they don't have no questions, so we we'll keep here un
All right.
ratito más si quiere.
Now I want to speak about Yaya.
Yeah.
We got Yaya Zula.
Yeah.
And we can give, I don't know, Yaya Zula, you want to give your experience, I guess, as a Yaya in Palo, um, the benefits of it, I guess, the things that you have lived, or any advice for the women within the traditions.
I don't know about any advice per se. You know, I came to you based on, you know, lower level Palo. Um, you
Some
know,
love in there.
that's how I met you. Um, I've learned so much in this past year. It's crazy. Um, when we talk about duality, and when you spoke about you have everything, but you have nothing, I thought about, being a Tata. Tatas, they have the power, they have, the pots, um, They have the clout, you know what I mean? They have everything. But without a Yaya, you have nothing,
You have a
you know?
lot, yet you have nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So my experience, I've been working Palo pretty much for myself. Um, and it's enhanced my life, being able to communicate um, with the dead, Mayan Fumbe. It's actually been uh, very mind blowing. Every day I'm surprised because it's like, yeah, Mayan Fumbe is there. Mayan Fumbe is real. I don't have an empty pot. I don't have an empty inkuyo, right? So the things that we communicate about, and when I'm passing those spells, he says things to me. It's almost like he's reading my mind. So um, I would say, just as a yaya, continue to learn, continue to. For me, I'm big on code um, convictions. Like you always say, the morality of things. I'm very big on that. So, you know, I'm all for Yaya being powerful, um, but also knowing her place in the tradition, you know. So I would say learn as much as you can, but also understand whatever rules, regulations, codes, moralities that you have within your lineage to follow. Because there's nothing like having a Yaya that's out of place because she needs her Tata and Tatas need their Yayis. Um, I have a friend of mine that she's initiated, and to balance her out, I don't know how true this is. This is just, what I was told. When she came into Palo, she was, sacrificing and doing all of these things. And to balance her out, she had to get initiated into Ifa. Um, so, you know, again, some of your lineages might allow you to sacrifice and things of that nature. Um, but whatever lineage you're in, just understand that there are codes, convictions, moralities, and things of that nature. And learn as much as you can, ask as many questions as you can, even if it seems like it's irrelevant or stupid, ask the question. You'll learn way more when you ask, because I believe that your padrino, your godfathers are obligated to teach you. But if you're not asking the questions and you're not all in, then what's the point?
Right.
So, as Tata Matiti would say, that's all I got.
Which I love that, Yaya Zula.
Yeah, that's
I love
true.
that. And look what she brought up, animal sacrifices, right? Every house is different. Um, some of us do, right? Some lineages that I know let women sacrifice two-legged animals. Some let them sacrifice four-legged animals. They can do it all. Some don't allow anything. In our lineages, obviously, we don't allow the women to sacrifice. Would I love for women to sacrifice animals? Yes. You see what I'm saying? I would love for that because they won't depend on no man to sacrifice ningún animal. There are some, let's say, agreeances. Well, I'm not gonna get involved in that. It's between me and Yaya Azula. It has to do with the Fumba mounting or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, from my understanding, the women have more than enough power because I lived it. My godfather sacrificing goats, roosters, chickens, bring, bring, bunch of things, fulazos, bunch of stuff to resolve problems. And my godmother, and a palo bruja, there was a flower that came out of it. She went and got this dang flower from a palo
Silly.
bruja and go put it on her calunga, resolve the problem in 3 dang days. And not no
Let
little
me tell
process,
you,
strong processes,
Well,
no
no flower.
roosters,
I,
no heavy roosters, none of that stuff. A flower. Not
I
even a
took,
complete. It wasn't a lotus pad, a whole thing. It was just the tip of it. The I don't know what they
Yeah.
call it. The top
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah.
Just
Top
that.
of the flower.
yeah, I've experienced that, and I text you and Tata Zago. I was like, hey, I just said something and the shit happened.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said be careful when you speak and with the arguments and who you talk to and all that because they listening.
Wait a minute, that happened fast.
Yeah.
The, that's what I'm referring to. So I got to witness that when I was a child. And obviously my godfather, he wasn't bitching about it, but he was being judgmental. He's like, "Do you know? Tú sabes lo que es?" He was like, "Tú sabes lo que es? Yo tengo que matar todos estos animales. You know what it is? I have to do all these rituals and animal sacrificings and plants getting involved and singing and all of this stuff." And this woman goes in there, speaks to her keys, put a flower on top of it, and resolve these major problems.
That's
What
it.
in the world is going on here? And that's what he tells me. He's like, "That's how you know that the women hold power in these traditions." You see what I'm saying? And that's the truth.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot of stuff that had to do with like yayas that I want to speak, but I don't know if we should, but we should, we can.
Just
Because it's
light,
very
just cosa light, no cosa tan.
so we can at least orientate them, right? We can orientate them.
Hmm.
To be just a regular yaya is something to have, and in Kisi, a yaya and gang is a different thing. Same thing as a priest, a male.
Hmm.
Regular tata and gay, whatever, whatever. But once he gets his in Kisi, it's a different ball game. Because now they got their enfumbas and is themselves. They're in the heat. Tanga la candela. They're there in the moments with their own inquisis, their own things to resolve their own problems. So it is very important, whatever lineage that you get involved as a woman, that the inquisi that they built is built correctly. And I'm not referring to things that it has inside or any. I'm referring to los tratados and the treaties of los linaje because and understand what are the spirits that are involved in there. Porque estos muertos, we don't, they don't be knowing who the hell these enfumbas are or any of this stuff.
Hmm.
And they can cause problems to the females, especially if they're male spirits. You get me?
Correct.
And if there is not a good amount of agreements or you don't know who these enfumbas are, it can cause issues and problems within the females. Or you build it and la yaya, these yayas from other lineages are listening to me, listening to Zongo, to a bunch of these other priests that are online. We're talking about, hey, develop a relationship, develop a relationship. And you got
Hmm.
a simpy, right? A simp for an Mfumbo, that means that he wasn't a good looking guy.
Hmm.
He was, let's say, manipulated very easily by women,
Hmm.
by their
Over,
perfumes.
overweight.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was an overweight guy and wasn't. Let's say, I don't want to say. I'm gonna use the word that we use these days. I'm sorry for the
He
language, but it's
wasn't
called
good
pussy
looking.
whipped,
He wasn't good looking.
right? He's pussy whipped. That's how they call it, pussy whipped by women, right? That he will do anything for a woman. Any woman can take advantage of him because that's what I guess that's his weak spot as a person. And you got that type of spirit as an Mfumba, that can be a very detrimental problem when you have a Yaya with an Mfumba like that. Because they fall in love con la Yaya. They develop relationships with him. You see, and Yaya is telling him that she loves him and all of this and all of that, and it
Hmm.
involves emotions towards him. You
Hmm.
get me? And obviously it can cause very detrimental issues in war. That's very beneficial for her. But when it comes to her spouse, when it comes to people disrespecting her, when it comes to her making decisions within her love life. You
Hmm.
get me? That if that Mfumba doesn't understand that what are the agreements and what is his purpose, and she's giving him the purpose that you are somewhat like my husband. That's a problem. Hay problema.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because these things are real.
And same thing happens with the female in Kisses.
And same things are flipped backwards around too. Um, because some women are also bipolar and they fall in love, and when they fall in love, they fall in love hard. And you tiene ese tata ahí embollando esa muerta. You got a problem on your hands when it comes to your relationships. To your relationships. So that's why I always say it's always good to understand how to deal with the dead. That's why I always say picking any piece of bone or buying them or whatever you guys are doing,
Hmm.
you guys have to be careful because it's not just throw things in there and do whatever you have to do. Within any linaje, everybody knows that. Um, and there's a bunch of priests you can get in contact with that if you are a priest and involved in these things, they'll orientate you because they understand the seriousness that have to do with the traditions. You get
Yeah.
me?
Mhm.
To a
I didn't
certain degree.
I didn't experience that, but um, the quote unquote Mfumbe that was in my pop prior. I had no idea who it was. I was told there was like four spirits in Mainkisi, and that wasn't accurate, you know. So fortunately, I didn't have any issues. I didn't have my life turned upside down or anything like that. But had I truly known at the time how to work the pot, I could have experienced some really bad shit.
Hmm.
So that's many people have that. They receive pots and they just have them there. Give some rum, some cigars, some smoke, and that's it. They don't work the tradition the way that at least I was taught to work it for yourself, to better your life and your circumstances, whatever that you're going through. And some people receive these things, but they don't hold the knowledge, so they don't dive. They're not as curious as I am. Or the right word is atrevido,
Yeah.
which it has a negative connotation, which it does. Atrevido means
Take chances.
yeah, you take a chance. You see what I'm saying? You risk. Like you
You
like to take
risk.
risk.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, tú eres tremendo atrevido. Like you won't respect the boundaries of your knowledge or any of that stuff. And
Hmm.
your position, your ranking, any of that. You say, no, no, I'm gonna do it myself. That
Hmm.
type of stuff. A little bit courageous. Um, so some people do have pots. I'm pretty sure that they watch these lives and they have them there. If you don't have, I'd rather you be like that. If you don't have the knowledge to run medicine, don't run it. You have it, acquire it, speak to your godparents, go through your process, and then go working it.
But it's also a dangerous thing, Tata, because if you have a pot, right, that has an infumbe in there, and there's actually something there that you don't know, and you receive it and you're not working it, but you have it close to your home, or in your home, you know, it's kind of counterproductive. You understand, to have something that you don't know what the hell is doing for you, whether it's doing for you or not doing for you. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. It could be messing your life up. Or I told you the story about the lady that used to go to sleep and wake up with black and blues, and she felt like she was having sex and everything with the spirit. And she used to wake up with these black and blues and these sucking marks and everything. This lady didn't have no husband. She lived by herself.
So we're gonna speak, but once again, let's speak about that. Once again, if you don't know what you're doing, do not construct an Ikisi. Wherever you're getting yourself involved, make sure that those priests know what they're doing. See what I'm saying? I know a bunch of priests. I refer a bunch of people everywhere all the time that at least know how to deal with the dead. See what I'm
Hmm.
saying? They know that's the for sure they know. There's secrets that'll not here. I don't know because I'm not in those houses. But I know for sure that they understand the concepts of dealing with the dead. That
Hmm.
one thing I even went through that we don't know who the hell it is and what are his true intentions, and that can be a problem. Um, for whatever amount of money. Um, and at the same time, I'm gonna say this for the people who might not know what they're doing or dealing, or they think that they know what they're doing. I was there once. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect. You get me?
Right.
Even though
Yeah.
I didn't make those decisions, you see, because I wasn't out in the community building pots for people
Hmm.
or any of those things. I had really good guidance. But some people, you see what I'm saying? They get involved in Palo and they fall off with the godparents. They don't have enough knowledge to fend for themselves, and they start teaching other people and all that, and it happens. Mistakes can be done as long to each his own. That's what I always say. To each his own.
Another thing that I'm not gonna say I have witnessed, but I have spoken to at least two persons. I'm not gonna say names, that they have called me, right, text me for information, and I didn't give them information, any treaties or stuff like. But we spoke about certain things, and it took maybe about the fifth call of one person for me to I already was getting like the itch, like this person is the intentions. I don't know, because the first thing is that these days there are a lot of people out here that don't want to sacrifice, don't want to pay their dues to get in the tradition. They feel as though that they don't have to go through the ropes and through the loops to get into these traditions. So they start listening to videos like this, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all over the place. And now they start building their own things because they don't feel as though that they have to. And I'm going to be honest with you. There are some, and even Puerto Ricans, they say that they don't have to look up to no Cubans and nothing to teach them nothing about what was theirs. I understand in some ways, but at the same time, you're dealing with a double-edged sword, and it's dangerous. You just can't go to Home Depot and buy yourself. dirt and buy and go get sticks and go get any muerto, put it in there. You can if you feel though and you wish to, you can. But be prepared, to live, certain
The
things and certain
repercussions. Yeah, the
repercussions that happen to
repercussion.
you, and I know this for sure about this one person because uh they were building a pot and everything without being initiated, nothing. And I was like, wow, I blocked the person from my phone because I thought he really was coming at the beginning, but he started putting them red lights started flashing, and I was like, wait a
You know
minute,
what they, you know what they say.
let me stop.
You know what they say. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Hmm. Which I
Exactly.
like that in Mungami,
No,
which is
because
true.
a lot of people see, they see these traditions, right? And we know we got the bad connotation of being scammed. Yeah, it's out there. Being scammed. A lot of people gotten scammed. Yeah, we know this in all traditions. You get scammed even in church. So don't tell me nothing about anything else. Um, Everywhere they're scamming. Everywhere. You understand? People got to eat. And they're gonna find a way to do it the easiest possible. Is it right? For me, it's not. You shouldn't scam people, especially when it has to do with a tradition so beautiful like this. Because for this reason is why we are here. We're trying to give a little bit so you guys that are seeking could try to seek and look and really open up your eyes and look for what is it that you really want, not what you see, because there's a lot of flashy stuff out here in the internet that makes you perceive like, wow, that's the great Tata, great Yaya. And you go there when you come a year from now, you hopping on one leg. What happened to you? Your butt is on fire. You know what I'm saying? His
So I can,
experiences.
so I can add into that. One thing that's gonna let you know already, like I always say, just open your eyes. Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. Don't allow that. If you don't see that it's family, if you don't see family there, that you're about to be a part of a family, don't get involved in it. You see what I'm saying? Don't get yourself involved in any of that stuff. You can have issues and problems with expectation management, all of these things, but at least you're within a family. And they know they're here. I might be their godparent or any of that, but if I do something wrong, they're gonna speak up against me. You see what I'm saying? And what I mean, they're gonna Andy gonna call me behind closed doors. What the hell did you tell my vungu? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or my titi's gonna call me and be like, "Hey, what the hell did you tell Yaya Zula? What the hell did he tell Tata Zongo? Because that's not like that." See what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they
You
don't
told
play
me
those
this.
games here. Yeah, they don't play that
You
here.
see, you see what I'm saying? And that's the check and balances within the lineage when you guys are priests. When they're priests, we we're only as strong as our weakest links. That's the
Exactly.
truth. One thing's
Exactly.
to being engaged in a regular tata, another thing is to having kisis and have your own fumbas and all of that, and understanding the goal of the linaje. Once they vote you in, once you're in, nobody is. It's not. Don't think about it like a ladder. Like if my godfather, then me, then this. There is those levels of respect, but in reality, it is a web. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a web.
Mm-hmm.
And if my godfather tomorrow don't want to practice and let's go in, Kizzy has nothing to do with us.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, he had these things with the linaje and all of these things, but all in Kizzy is still here.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? Same thing with Tata Zongo. Decide to do that, or if even if I do, I decide to deconstruct my pot, throw him in the river, and be a Christian. That had nothing to do with Zongo and any of them and those in Kisis. I'm gonna take my repercussions for my decisions. But at the end of the day, it is a web. They were all interconnected within the Linaje. These are secrets somewhat to a certain extent, but it is a web. People think about it like hierarchy. It
Hierarchy.
is not hierarchy,
Yeah.
at least within this Linaje. It has never
Yeah.
been hierarchy.
Yeah.
It is communal
Mm-hmm.
within Linaje. We give respect to obviously the elders and all of that stuff,
Right.
but it doesn't mean that from my godfather's descendant doesn't mean that we can't put pressure to him. Cause I can put pressure on my godfather the same way Tata Zongo can and my Vungu can on my godfather. My
Mm-hmm.
godfather talking about no mierda. They say that. Doing things he ain't supposed to, which that is very unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
100% very unlikely. They'll stand up for it and against it. And vice versa. Same way he can come and be like, esa cosa no se hacen. You don't do those things.
Right.
And there's repercussions for them.
Mm-hmm.
So once you guys are building those pots or any of those things, look around and see what family are you involved in.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because the godparents don't want to ever limit the descendants because you're only as strong as your weakest link.
Exactly.
Well, whatever not.
Yep.
And that's why there's a period of let's say what we call probation periods, where they're like, we don't want to bring him in fully
Mm-hmm.
because once he's in, we're gonna give him everything. We're gonna start dumping a bunch of more knowledge on him. So we always take time to see the character and all of that and the loyalty and all of those things. It takes time to build the relationship
Relationship.
so it can be like family.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? But once you're in, and then we're gonna go through all the problems together, one for all and all for one. That's the truth of it.
Yeah.
You get me? Within the respect of our personal lives, and when it comes to the tradition,
Right.
we got to uphold that which holds us up. You get
Exactly.
me? You have it all, yet you have nothing. I'm referring to that.
Exactly. Yeah. Use your head
So
before you lose it.
when it comes to la Yaya Zula, my other goddaughters that I also have, this, and that, we all have our agreements and our expectation management. But guys have to learn that. Other houses, they do things a little bit differently. You got really good houses too that I've met other priests. There's other houses that their levels of knowledge are still not there, which is fine. You're not born within the tradition knowing everything. You get me? As long as you ask questions and your expectations are met, be loyal to those houses, stay there, do all you have to do, and fix the problems that you guys have together. I already said, I'm gonna say it again. Tata Matiti, Yaya Zula, and Bungami, Mavungu, and Tata Zungu, and myself, and even priests from Mother Linajes too. But I'm talking about here, us. Within closed doors, if we start to question the knowledge that we hold as a collective, from Andy's, from mine, from Matiti, for Zula, we start to question things. You see what I'm saying? I start saying, I ask questions
Mm-hmm.
that can break my concepts. If you can't break it, if I can answer all these questions and everything makes sense, then let's continue.
Mm-hmm.
What doesn't make sense and what we don't know, that's what the hell we gotta learn. That's what we gotta give off to the newer descendants, to my Wungu's kids, to Andy's
Right.
kids, to my kids, to God kids, etc., etc. The new ones that are coming in. And
Mm-hmm.
the newest one can probably figure it out before we can, even though we've been in all these years, 20 years or whatever.
Oh,
You get me?
the muerto could give it to them.
Or when to get to them, or if they're in
Yeah.
gales or regular tatos, when they're coming in, they see things a little bit different. Like, oh no, but this doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're looking for. That those questions that don't make sense, but you're still practicing them. And as a collective, you guys have to test, or for sure we do it. We test these goddamn
Mm-hmm.
processes, test the medicine. Because if not, we're in church. We're here to pray and hope for things to happen. No, no, no. That's not the way I practice. I come here to question this stuff. You see what I'm saying? How they say Santo Tomás para creer, I'm definitely that. I've always been that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
exactly.
shouted out to Yaya Zula, the Matiti, all my God kids, all my descendants, and above me and under me, and all the priests and everybody initiating now. You get in this, question it, and if you find something, please let me know. Because I can change my medicine potency by like a million. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the truth of that. That's what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Specialized things. We're not here just for the culture of it anymore. We're not here just to be a part of something that's bigger, say that you're a priest. I'm here to
Mm-hmm.
change my life and make the tradition better within the speciality that it is. You
Mm-hmm.
get me?
Right.
And it's within all the lands.
Mm-hmm.
Within La Ocha and Ifatu, ask them about laws. But why did they put this information in this Odum? Huh? Why? Who did that? Our elders, but who?
Mm-hmm.
Who can answer that?
Mm-hmm.
When the hell did they thought about the Opally? When the hell they did this? Why did they say don't have no coconut no more? Put it in a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Why a rock?
Mm-hmm.
Why those people got rocks? Why don't we got rocks? Those type of questions. And many of them be like, I don't know, but that's part of the tradition. I know that, but why? Because you're doing something you're not understanding why. And that lets you know how well defined the knowledge is. If you don't have answers for everything, um, we don't have the answers for everything, but you got to at least know why. If not, don't be doing it. That's my opinion. That's what I stand for.
Mm-hmm.
You get me?
Right.
So I'm gonna say here, why women can't sacrifice animals within our linaje. I'm gonna tell you now, it's because our older descendants agreed upon it, and they say that a cuchillo is masculine and the women can't sacrifice it. That's what they say.
It says a male phallus
A
represents.
male phallus. That's what they say. So
Yeah.
think about this. So if the knife has a male phallus, can a woman sacrifice it without it? Mhm. She don't touch knife, but the animal can be dead anyway, or they can sacrifice it in other ways,
Mm-hmm.
humanely.
Humanely.
You get me? So,
Inhumanely.
so you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it can. There's other ways around it. Um, that things can evolve.
Right.
If not, change the laws within the lineage for the new descendants. These are the things that I speak about. Or
Mm-hmm.
that us as priests here within lineages, within ours specifically, we speak about these things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's other things that I'm gonna speak this too. Within our lineage, women don't go in the forest. You get me? At night, like it's nighttime over there, they don't go in the forest the way we do. That's taboo.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a man. Maybe women can't go in the forest and run their type of rituals. Men can't be a part of. Only women. But how the hell do I know that if
We
I'm a
never
man?
taught it. Yeah, we never was taught it.
We never was taught it.
We in those societies that women do their own thing and they you
Women
can't
do their
even
own
go in.
things.
Yeah.
You can't even go in.
Yeah, they got them. They even Africa had them.
You see what I'm saying? So these are the things that we're speaking about. Because within our lineage, when we are in the forest and we decide to run rituals or do things, we call things that are not no good for no women. Right? And vice versa. Maybe when the women's go in the forest, they call things that are no good for men. And you
Exactly.
have to be very careful. You can't bring no godson of yours, no godfather, no godbrother inside this forest when you're calling these things at all and running these type of rituals. Only women are allowed. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So we really don't know. You see what I'm saying? The depths of things. And I always say, if this is for priests, I'm speaking more to the priests, so people can be like, "Oh, okay." You always study the medicine. You run rituals, look for effects, look what changes it doing. You get me? Always do that. If you run a ritual and in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're seeing major effects, major change, you're like, oh, I was not negotiating that. And why is all this is popping out of nowhere? Or these new codes are coming out in the readings. And when I'm doing divination for myself, you're seeing new things. You're like, oh, what's going on here? What a major shift. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? A major shift, a change that's coming after I did this ritual. Pay attention and then start going back to the rituals to understand why were you doing things. Question, learn the science of it. It's just like science, a spiritual science, and it's very potent and scary because we're interacting with our lives at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And my woman knows what I'm speaking about, don't I? Huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mamuko is dazed right now. He's like,
Yeah, I got my son. I'm up here watching my son. Like,
it's
what
cool,
you
it's
say?
cool, it's cool. Hey, you got the baby with you. That's the name of the game. You're a good pop. You're a good father, bro. Don't worry about that.
Appreciate it, Padre. I appreciate that.
You got
Yeah.
any words, Tata Matiti, for the people who are listening?
Not really. Celebrate with everybody. Not just listening, man. Just listening man. Had a long day today. You know what I'm saying? Had the festival and just nonstop. Thousands of people there, which was good. But no, I'm just listening. You know what I'm saying? Listening and soaking it in. You know.
Yeah, but you gotta how you say that when you say I want to make a shameless plug, plug in your business.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, shameless plug. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah, so go. If anybody, looking for herbs, the things of that nature, herbal products for your health, or even for for work, doing your spiritual practices and things like that. You could check out sacredroots.com, roots with a Z. And we got over 200 plus herbs on the website. Or if you in the South area, we located in the South in Somerville, South Carolina, so you can come and visit us at 908 Bakersbridge Road in Somerville, South Carolina as well. So it's called
Very
Sacred
good.
Roots, the name of the business.
And Tata Mawungu also has his business. Go ahead, just your email and stuff like that. Your website, Tata Mawungu.
Absolutely. Thank you, Padrino. Yeah, you can reach me on TikTok at Feel Your Soul. I can't see it here. Feel Your Soul. Go to my website, feelyoursoul.com. And yeah, that's where you can find me. Reach out to me, whatever the case may be, and I'll be there.
Yeah,
I
Tata
like that.
Tata Matiti and Yayazula. They also have. I know Yayazula. You have one book out, right?
I do have a book out. It's called Over Allies and Psychedelics. So basically, I am a shamanic medicine practitioner. So I work with psychedelics to help heal trauma and other mental issues, as well as diving deep and, just experiencing knowledge through psychedelic medicine.
And how could they get a hold of you? Same place?
They can get a hold of me at on my Instagram, Barbara James Payne, Facebook, same name, sacredroots.com.
Okay, very good. That's
And
good.
I am on TikTok.
Oh, cool. That's
Which
good.
I do. I see the TikToks all the time.
Oh, and all you guys, don't forget Tata Matamba's books at Amazon.com. New book just came out. Tata Matiti also has a book too that he has on Amazon also.
I,
Good.
was,
Speak good on Bruce. So let's
I
go,
like.
baby.
I'm loving this. Tatas Longo, so we're
I
gonna shout out.
got
Let's
I, I
shout out
got
everyone.
this. I got this
Yeah,
right
Hey,
here.
hey.
and
Yeah.
get you a Zongo piece too, man. Get you a
Yeah,
Zongo
but
Yeah, you
piece.
got
any
to.
other divination, please get in contact so we can orientate in all those matters. But I guess we're shouting out. Let's shout out Infogami too. If you got anything to do with a car or any bender fender, anything happening in a
Fender
car,
bender,
give
yeah.
it
And
a
the
fender bender, anything like that. Get with Infogami. He got his business too.
in the
Where they can
Philadelphia
find you.
area, in the Philadelphia area.
He got his shop too. He got his garage. Uh, you see what I'm saying? Infogami ain't gonna let you out either. And I got other god kids that are not on here, et cetera, have their Inkishis and all of that. Because at the end of the day, we're all family. Um, and I know a lot of priests too. It's good to network. I keep telling you guys that if you guys are priests or any of those things, get in contact with Tata Zungu, Matiti, somebody, Mavungu, with me, with anybody. Because when people come to us from they get in contact with from other states, and I'm like, man, I don't know nobody from that state.
Hmm.
And if I did, I know that they're near you, an hour away, 2 hours away, 3 hours away. I'm like, look, this priest, I know, give you their contact information, and you guys deal with those things at the end of the day. Because once again, the tradition, there's a lot of people who practice it, but at the same time, everybody kind of knows everybody. Um,
Yeah, even
and
if they
that's the
don't
truth
talk
to
to each
that.
other, even if all of them don't talk to each other, know each other personally, believe me, they know.
Which obviously I wish that you see what I'm saying, that there was a little bit more unity, at least within Palo, a little bit more unity and exchange of knowledge. Because it's beautiful. Because at the end of the day, we practice this closed off personally within our own lives, within our own homes. You see what I'm saying? So disagreements or this or that, um, that's for lower level mindsets or this or that. Problems are always going to be there, but us as adults, we can always resolve them. You get me? Any more
Yeah,
questions or any of those things?
I do not see any. Well, let's give them a couple of minutes. If nobody gives leaves ask any questions, we'll get up out of here. We had Tata Mateke came in. He came in for a little bit. He said hello and all
Will,
that.
which
Will
he's out there in North Carolina. Great priest, carved men. He can carve in Kisis. Obviously, practice the Bakenda also.
and
Hell of a
Palo.
diviner too, and Paulo. But he's a hell of a diviner with that African
Yeah,
trait. I don't know. I'm not initiated into those things, but for sure he's a hell of a divider
yeah,
from what I hear.
exactly.
Masters within their systems. That's what I'm saying. These Chamalongos are a lot deeper than what people think, and they know the ones who hear. They know they're like, oh yeah, this is
Hmm.
these four Chamalongos, or Yampudo. How many people say is a lot deeper than what you think it is. Once again, there's a bunch of formats:
Hmm.
question technique, sensinsa, stage format, binary codes, gender, polarity, Kinenga, et cetera, all of these different formats.
Hmm.
And you have to know how to really know each one of them and when to interpret them for you to deal with the data, understand what they're telling you.
Hmm.
If not, you're gonna have issues and problems. One thing is to have the information. Another thing is to know how to use it. And all it takes is just an inbox, a message.
Hmm.
And we can orientate you a lot better because it can help you, it can save you. You get me?
Hmm.
What's the point of you holding a book and not knowing how to put it to work? You invested only halfway. You have it all, yet you have nothing. You get me?
Right.
Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. Fear, or reaching out. It don't matter what age you're in. because certain other priests have other types of systems, and only you know the truth if it's accurate or not. You get me? If it's accurate or not. And you have to dive in deep and question your practice constantly. I question my things constantly to see if it's there and there, and with other priests too. Because I go to other priests' houses, they're running rituals, house this and that they don't even do with house, and those infumbas get it done.
Hmm.
I done some breast cancer. That lady had breast cancer. We ran the rituals for it. 6 by 6 inch tumor they removed from her. Didn't spread or any of that stuff. So the surgeries can go well. Essa muito tá bueno. That's a good infumba.
Hmm.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a bunch of stuff, court issues and all types of problems. There's a bunch of priests that, you see what I'm saying? We all network with one another. You see what I'm saying? And for those priests that are out there, have respect. Don't step over other priests' shoes. See what I'm saying? Don't
Hmm.
step over other people's shoes or any of that stuff. Everybody has their own lina, has their own knowledge. The way they're built over there is different than over here, this and that. To each his own. What matters is the result.
Yeah, you can always learn. You can always learn something from anyone that practice these traditions, no matter how I would say new or knowledgeable or not. There's always something that you can learn from somebody. Always, always. So don't look down upon nobody. Don't when you if you see something that to you looks like it's wrong in the practice, and but you're not sure, just keep it to yourself, man. You understand? Because it's no good to bring other practitioners down if you don't see something that's disrespectful, like something that's very disrespectful, something that is hard to take. That's a different story. But you just got to be able to look at things and see that people don't practice the same. They practice different, and just be willing to accept and keep moving, keep walking. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do.
I
Do
want
what
it.
your karma does.
Yeah, and I'm gonna throw a hot subject, and then we can get off. A hot little subject we can get off to.
All right.
Little hot stuff. Little hot conversation. This is for everybody here instead of Tata Zongo, because everybody here is African American. Yaya Zula, Tata Matiti, Mavungun Vungami,
I
and
was
Tata
gonna say
Zongo
something
and
about
I
this
have
after this.
Huh?
have I ever been racist towards you or showed any form of discrimination?
Never.
No, never.
No,
In fact, I'm gonna tell you this, man. This was maybe about a year ago now. I know no longer than that. Not that longer than that. You said something, and I don't even know if you remember it, man. But what you said was you said the importance of us learning this. You told me, that this is important that as you learn, because you say your community gonna need you more than ever. Um,
Hmm.
because though more so maybe the Latino community has it more, but it's an African tradition, and you said that it was your duty. You almost felt like it was your duty to teach us so that you could take it back to our communities.
It is. It
And
is.
so
I
when
feel. I feel the same way. It's a
yeah,
duty. It's a duty, and that's the reason why those two godchildren that I got them because I feel as though that yes, it's an Afro-Cuban tradition. The roots are from African, but there are a lot of African American people here that should be looking back into their roots because their
Hmm.
roots are pure. Their roots, it's good. Spirituality is there. Yeah, African American and African in general, the people are spiritual. That's the reason why they're in all these churches because they're spiritual people looking, seeking, but just the wrong places. You
yeah.
understand? That's all.
You know, and I,
When I said that, I told Yaya Zulu, I said, yeah, that's the one for us right
Hey,
yes,
exactly.
and that's where I wanted to
Absolutely.
take it because we had to understand that we're in a new age. Like I had in one of those, I think it was in one of the lives I did for the last one I did with you, Mavung. We were speaking about it. Apollo's in a new age here in the states. The culture is now shifting.
Oh,
Somebody throwing some brujeria already. No, at least that.
Yeah,
right,
they
right.
don't want to hear that. Nah, fuck that
Yeah, exactly.
unity.
Giving out the secrets.
Yeah. Get out the
Yeah,
secrets, bro.
yeah. So it's important. It's important for us to, at least for myself, for sure, um, to teach my African American descendants, because Tata Matiti, Yaya Zula, and Vungami,
Vungu.
Mavungu, Tata Tembu, Tata Bazu. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? They're going to be pillars for the African American communities.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the truth of it.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't teach members from the African American community, they're just going to get the lower levels and the whitewashed hollow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when in reality, in Cuba, the white men, they received a different form of Apollo when we came in,
Mm-hmm.
when that culture was getting built.
Mm-hmm.
And all you guys are going to stand within your individual houses for the broader community and your descendants. You must teach them right. It has nothing to do with Briumba Mulemba. It has to do now with you as a priest within Briumba Mulemba, but within your African American experience and your culture. You see, to be able to weave those worlds back together, to be able to uplift and empower your communities. You get me? At the end of the day. Because the truth is that people are going to go what feels like home. You see, we're Hispanics. We eat a certain type of way. We listen to a specific type of music. We bond differently than the African Americans. You see what I'm saying? Than the whites and this, because we're in the States. It's a melting pot of culture. And people are always going to go what it feels like home. And there's nothing more better for the descendants of Briuma Mulemba here in the States to have its members also alongside that community. You get me? Because to be a leader, it has nothing to do with color, with race, or any of that stuff. At least for Mbrimba Mulemba, it has nothing to do with color. To be a priest, it has nothing to do with color or any of that. No racism or any of these things.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? There's culture involved in everybody. Everybody has their own culture
Mm-hmm.
outside of Palo or any of that stuff. Their
Yep.
upbringing, what they're going through in their personal lives. And to be a leader has nothing to do with any of these things. So for the priest, there's very few of them that speak Spanish and English,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in depth within these traditions. It is our responsibilities, because I'm not the only one. They're still out there to teach the African Americans, even the whites, whoever it is, the correct way within your lineages and make them strong. If you don't do it and you initiate them, you're gonna weaken your linaje by doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people are persistent. They're gonna be persistent within the tradition no matter what, with you or without you. So might as well, if they're good people, they got good heads on their shoulders, no matter what their color is, their language, or any of that stuff. Understand the effect that you're gonna do by teaching them, the ripple effect. That I'm empowering Tata Matiti, Yaya Zula, and Wungami, Mavungu, et cetera, et cetera, for them to save their African American communities here within the States.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? And that's the truth of that.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? That's why this stuff is important. One thing I'm saying is social media, another thing is the reality of life. The reality of life.
Mm-hmm.
So you must teach whatever culture, whatever people come to you within your linaje, you have to teach them well, because they're gonna go back to feed and heal and guide their own individual communities. You get me?
Yes,
Cuba,
sir.
I'm gonna say here, Cuba and the Spanish, they're gonna keep rolling. That's gonna be forever. The thing
Mm-hmm.
is, here in the States, as English speakers, within this tradition, there's new age that we got ourselves involved in.
Mm-hmm.
That we're in the beginning phases of it. We're in Colamuca.
Exactly. Yes, we are. I'll be out of here pretty soon, and a lot of the ones that are starting, and they'll be they'll be still passing this down, and teaching others and all that. Hopefully,
You guys are gonna end up teaching people. Matiti's gonna end up initiating, having God kids. Yaya Zula the same, and Mavungu the same, and Vungami the same. Tatembago already got them. Tatemtembo the same, etc., etc., etc. All my God kids and all my descendants. So it is our responsibility as priests to teach and make sure that things are kept within our linaje. The same way I'm saying it here is for the priests on the outside, from their lineages to understand that. And I'm gonna say it here, I'm gonna say it again. for the broader community. Spanish speaking, let them be. That's them. But I'm speaking to the people who, just because a priest isn't Puerto Rican, isn't Cuban, don't judge a book by its cover. Even though I felt that also.
Mhm.
I committed that. I judged an African American priest. I said, when I show up to that house, it was AZ. When I show up to that house, he gonna have to rebuild all them pots. I'm telling you. I'm gonna give him the knowledge. And when I showed up there, it was a whole different other thing. Good Mfumba's a good house, strong things, etc., etc.
Mhm.
Whether Hesley not has in those things. And he's another one. You see what I'm saying? That they're African Americans, but they have had luck when it comes to gaining knowledge and being part of the traditions and linajes and getting fed information and fighting for it, sacrificing themselves for it.
Yep.
So don't judge a book by its cover. Just because they don't speak Spanish, just because they don't come from Cuba, does not make a priest. That's within La Ocha, within Ifa, within anything, within Nishesha. Just because they're over there in Nishesha, doesn't make them better Babalaos than the Lukumis. Everybody knows that. It all has to do with knowledge and character,
Mhm.
morals, convictions. You see what I'm saying? And how they're going to uphold you within those families. One thing is as a whole, another thing is individual within each Linajes. And Palo is very much like that. It has never been cookie cutter. But for the new ages ones, the new houses that are coming now that they're only speaking English, it is us, our duties, the ones who are the bridge, the English and Spanish speaking, the ones who grew up with the culture, to be able to transmit it to the ones that are on the other side of the bridge, only speak English,
Mhm.
to make sure that here in the States it stays strong also
Mhm.
within our traditions. You get me?
Right.
And I'm proud of all you guys. Tata Matiti, Yaya
Yeah.
Zula, Mabungu, and Wungami.
Yeah.
Tata Zongo, we've been doing this
A
already for a
little
while.
bit.
These are the bigger problems that we've been dealing with.
Yeah, we good, man. We good.
And
Mr. Adam, he said something to you, so I just wanted for you to, acknowledge him.
nice Mr. Adam, Mr. Adam too.
Yeah.
Good fella, how you doing, man? Tata Matamba. You're good in my book for my personal conversation with you. I never felt any racist energy from you. Thank you again for all the great lessons. Malaikum salam. Which is Mr. Adam, right? He's African American also. Great person, great preacher. And I speak to many of them.
Yeah.
You have to orientate. We have to.
You
You
got to,
guys will
man.
have your own houses, your own god kids.
Yeah, you
And that's
can't
the
be stingy.
truth.
You can't be stingy. Don't I'm not saying give out your house secrets, but when you speak to people and people are looking for knowledge, and you could give them something, you could build with them, you could empower them a little bit, you could give them information, give them what you can. You understand? If you see that they mean well, and even those that don't even mean well, man. I've spoken to some people that, you know,
Oh, and then I'm gonna say
you-
that. Then you got the African Americans also that have gone to Cuba and learned Spanish to learn the tradition. And
right.
then people, great amount of knowledge, been the tradition a long year, which I know many of them, they sacrifice themselves. And then people don't, their own culture, their own people don't want to give them the notoriety that they deserve.
Hmm.
You just got to question them and see their concepts and see their practice and see how they stand within their own communities.
Yeah.
That's the truth, no matter the color that you are, any of that. The people who think like that is lower levels. Even though I've been in houses or I've met other priests that will only initiate Cubans, will only initiate African American, will only initiate this or that, which that's fine. That's teachers on the politics. But I'm referring to the ones who don't do that, who open up their house and their family to anybody
Right.
that has a good head on their shoulders and is willing to contribute and receive also to build together.
Hmm.
It is our responsibility to do that. That's where we're at in this new age.
Listen, man. I
Uh,
was I was told many years ago, you Puerto Rican, what you know about Palo by a Cuban. I was like, oh, okay, no problem, much respect, and I just kept my mouth shut. Bro. I was like, what?
so I'm gonna say it
You know
here.
what I mean?
I'm gonna say it here. The art of spiritual warfare. Don't underestimate the enemy. Just because they don't speak Spanish does not mean that they don't have good inquisis and the things are well built.
Hmm.
Be careful. Just because they're not Cuban or just because they don't speak Spanish or any of those things does not mean that they don't hold knowledge within these traditions that have concepts and come from good linajes. You get me? And that's the truth of that. You see what I'm saying? Search. Um, for your home. Everybody's gonna have their own home, their own houses, then their own relationship with their own godparents. See what I'm saying? At the end of the day, choose the ones that I guess fulfill your expectations, or let's say surpass them. Right? Surpass your expectations, and vice versa. You need to surpass your godparents' expectations.
You gotta
And
put in the
that's
work. You gotta put in the work for they can give you work.
and that's the truth.
That's the name of the game. Ya fuimos.
That, yeah, that's what I got. Want me
Yeah.
to end it like I always end
And
it,
like
right?
you always end it.
And singa di kanda dinga ka tu buka ko. Always uphold our traditions by making the right decisions for our tradition. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments down here. Obviously, we're all for it. If you
Yeah.
guys want to get in contact, Tata Matiti, Yaya Zula, Mavungu, and Vungami, obviously Tata Zungu, they already let you
Yeah.
guys know where to get in
Yeah,
contact with them.
another thing that I wanted to bring to you guys' attention is that I seen that in a couple of the lives that Tata Matamba has done, the views have been there as far as watching him, but no thumbs up, no nothing. Like, come on, guys, you got to help out the channel.
All
Uh,
right,
you
real
know,
quick, Andy, look at the comments. See the ones who put things there, because there's one that's been consistent. They've been
I got
consistent
you.
all over.
I
You
got you.
know,
I've been watching the live, but I've been seeing them, they come in and all that, but I don't see no thumbs up, nothing. So, you gotta remember that these things work by algorithm. We're not looking for money or nothing like that, but the same way we're here sharing, the same way you guys could share to somebody else, give a thumb up, let the algorithm take it somewhere else. So somebody else can also see and pick up the knowledge. You understand? You don't know how a small little video, how a conversation, how a podcast, something so little that you might look at minute, how could it change someone's life just by them being able to have people to get in contact with?
That's
You
100%
understand?
true. I ended up here from one of your videos, and here we are. We locked in.
Mm-hmm. Have yourself a good night. Thank you guys for being with us, brothers and sisters. Have a great night. Many blessings. And thank the people who've been here. Peace. Salam
good
alaikum.
night. Walaikum salam.
We're going to sell.